Hey, look it. You're live. We're live. That's you. Say hi. Hello, arm wrestling world. Hey, look. You're live. Oh, wait. We're live. That's you. And that's Say hi. Hello, arm wrestling world. Such a dork. All right, there we go. How's it going, Travis?
What's going on, brother? How we doing tonight?
Good. So we've got Mike Linder taking care of something for a couple minutes, and he'll be popping in. And we've got Baby Odette with us this evening. Have you ever done one of these things on your head? It's like a scalp massager or something.
It feels so good.
Aren't they awesome? She makes really funny faces when you do it to her hair. She likes it. Yeah, she's very into it.
You know what? That feels good, but I was I was doing some Christmas lights, man, and I seen some of the gnarliest spiders today. And I'm like, one like landed on the side of my head. That's what that reminds me of. I'm like, it landed on the side of my head. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah. It's kind of a creepy crawly feel,
oh
right?
my God. I'm just like, I'm not a spider guy at all. So I'm not, and I know you guys up there, up in the Crest Line Arrowhead area. I know you guys get some good sized spiders up there.
In the summertime we'll get some weird ones, but yeah, I'll do some weird jobs where I have to go into like dark basements and shit. And yeah, that's when the Black Widows come. I don't like spiders. I don't like them at all.
Hey,
What's
but you'll crawl next to them for the right amount of money, right?
yeah, you give me enough money, I'll find a way. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, you're just like, pushing through webs and you're like, try not to think about it.
uh,
We got
it's like,
Jacob Ardron in the chat saying, hey, all, be on in a few. Gotta put the kid down to sleep. Good daddy, good daddy. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to put Odette down to sleep. She just like parties on with us till like 1 a.m. We're horrible parents. But that
you know,
would be great, like for us to have stuff to do, like put her to bed and then like, do things that, we'd want to do. We got Ahmad in the chat saying, "Hola, what's up, Ahmad? How you doing, brother?" Um,
is Odette sleeping with you guys still or no?
yeah, we're still doing the co-sleeping thing. Hopefully we'll be able to transition out of that at some point. But she is like on her own, becoming more like independent as she's getting older and smarter and stuff. So, I think we will be able to make that transition pretty soon. But still, like we all sleep so good because of it. She sleeps
Yeah,
good, we sleep
that's
good.
good. You know what? They say that you should have like that connection with your kid and you should never like let them like feel like they have to be away from you, obviously, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely like kicked my kids out of the room at like age 1. I said, "You're gonna start sleeping in your own room." Obviously, they come cuddle with us and whatnot, but like, yeah, when Dad wants to sleep after a long day, I'm not trying to get kicked in the face or in the rib cage either, you know.
Yeah. What's up, Mike? Are you at work or at home?
Oh, I'm still at work. We're about to take off to get back to the house.
Okay. Yeah, if you have to hop off, just pop back in sometime. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty boring drive and just sitting
yeah,
there.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. You guys do have a little bit of a drive, don't you?
Yeah.
So I had this really weird dinner. Do you guys ever like make up like a dish sometimes out of like
Yeah,
weird
sure.
stuff?
Whatever you have, just kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like, we're in that holiday vibe. It's like winter time, and I wasn't that hungry, so I pulled out the cream of wheat, made it with the milk. I took a big sweet potato and I mashed it up and whipped that into it. Um, we had some of the pumpkin spice seasoning, creamer. What was the other thing I put into it? Oh, apple. So those apple cider pouches to
Yeah,
make
yeah, yeah.
apple cider. Yeah, we had
Yeah,
some sugar-free ones. I just poured like 2 packets of that in there. It was good.
I bet.
It was different.
I eat yeah, like grits a lot. I eat just steel cut oats a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Diet meal.
Yeah, I put the oats in my smoothie a lot. But they like I realized I had to pulverize them in one of those espresso grinders or the coffee bean grinders. Otherwise, you get the big pile of stuff at the bottom of your cup.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, it's really good. And I noticed it's been easier on my stomach too, when I do it that way.
for sure.
Um,
It's not like trying to like reconstitute itself in your stomach, you know.
exactly. Do you ever do that overnight oats thing?
I do it with coffee. I put it
With
in coffee. Yeah,
you'll put coffee and water in your refrigerator overnight?
with in oatmeal. I put the oatmeal in coffee, and then eat it like a coffee oatmeal. Yeah.
Oh. That sounds horrible, but like I'm like trying to wrap my head around it. Like
Hey,
maybe,
he's giving you all the cheat codes how to get stronger, Kane. All right.
yeah, I'm listening. I'm taking notes. Like he could tell me it's like poop in a blender. I'd probably drink it if Mike was doing it. Paul Stevens in the house saying, "What's up, guys? Good to see Paul." Well, not see you, but see you in the chat. It was good to see you at the event on Saturday. Yeah, that was a cool event. That's mostly what we're going to talk about tonight, and we'll talk about what's next with the Kringle Pull too. How'd you guys like the event this last Saturday?
That was fun. Could have got started off a little faster, but it's
Yeah, 100%.
it'll run smoother next time.
Yeah.
How'd you do, Mike? What'd you come in, Mike?
Uh, Placing. Oh, I won the 185 left and right, and then I got second in the 205 right-handed.
Oh, you got
Nice.
both arms in the 185?
Yeah.
Cool. So, Ole was in the 205s with Dallas, I'm guessing. Okay.
No, Dallas
Dallas
pulled
was up.
230, 230.
Okay. And what'd you say you got in the 205s?
Second.
Second. Okay,
And I
man.
think I got I think maybe like fourth in the 235. So I
Okay.
only lost to Dallas and Ole in
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's so impressive. It was so cold too. Um,
It was
yeah,
cold.
it was like
Well,
the
yeah, I was,
coldest night we've had in a
I just
while.
really, wanted to abstain from injuries.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. I like doing exerting things in the cold. Not that I wanted to put you guys through that. Yeah, there was a lot of weird things that came into play. Our first snow of the season was the night before that. I've had it be 80 degrees on days up here in November. It's going to be 48 degrees tomorrow night when it was 30 degrees the night of the event. I think it
Yeah,
might have even gotten down to like 28.
yeah, with the
But
wind chill.
yeah. Needed more heating torches. But all in all, like with
Even just
university,
drop some. If you could have some drop cloths on the left and right sides of the stage, because there's the open sides, so
yeah,
there's no
yeah.
drop crosswind going underneath that awning.
Oh, that's smart.
To make it like a full clam, or a
Yeah, for sure.
quarter clam. Yeah,
Well, I might do that for practices, but definitely if, well, I do want to do that event again. We'll do it a different time of season for sure. So, the things that came into play that landed that in November was not only, to fit it nicely between events and not step on things too much, but, yeah, I didn't get in with them for our practices that we're holding there until recently. And so the initial spark to like do it and soon was to help build the team. It's they're giving us Wednesday nights there for practices, and Wednesday nights going into the winter, you can only get so much of the locale to like pop in and see what's going on and build the team. So the initial big motivation was to show my locale community what actual arm wrestling looks like a tournament with super matches. I just didn't expect that many of you to show up and stay like with it being that cold. So I was really impressed with everybody.
There were, I think, a few the local guys up there on the stage when I left, like talking to
Mhm.
people. Like I don't
Yeah,
know, like three or four.
Yeah,
yeah.
all I know is they made a killing. They did well. So
Oh,
I seen
Stockade,
every
yeah, yeah.
I seen everybody with drinks. People were eating nonstop. That was the busiest they were probably all year. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, yeah, especially for the winter. I'd say it might like if they have a popular touring band that comes in the summer or something, maybe equivalent to that. But yeah, they were all surprised, dude. They were not expecting that many of you all to show up. The weird part was a lot of people came just to watch. Not just the local community, but our arm wrestling community. A lot of people just came to hang out and watch. And there was one woman that a few of our team met there who actually lives in our local area, who's been to like she's competed in like 19 tournaments. She's from the East Coast. They know her name. I don't, but Penelope. Okay. So, yeah, she just never really like trained for it with a team. She's kind of had bad luck getting with a team that, she felt like she could train with or was accepted by or whatever. So, but yeah, we really hit it off with her, so we could have another talented woman to jump into women's arm wrestling in the state. Um, but yeah, just all around really exciting stuff. I was really grateful to everybody for it. What did you think of the $10 entry? Do you think that had any part to play with why the turnout was good?
Yeah, I mean, like people were pulling more than just one, and
More classes, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if maybe next time if there is a novice, probably that's the people would be signing up. I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So that
I,
was
I
yeah, go
mean,
ahead.
I like the $10 idea, of course, but obviously as a promoter as well, like I look at it like, is it sustainable, right? Like that's really what it comes down to. Like, cool, it's great for the pullers, because they get to pull as many classes as they want. But like, is it sustainable for our pocketbook if we get obviously if we get sponsors, of course, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
as promoters, we don't want to lose money either. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we gotta look at it like, cool, $10 was a great idea. If we can continue to get those sponsors, even better, then it could, sustain itself. But if you
Well,
don't get
and
sponsors,
I mean, to me, I have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trophies, somewhere stored in a box, of all kinds of trophies. Like to me, a trophy doesn't really mean as much as, just having a little bit of cash to
Yeah.
show, like my family and stuff that, I'm just not going out and spending a couple $100 to go have fun with my buddies. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Here, let me plug this guy in. So I'd like to do it free next year. Now, I am 100% fine with promoters charging whatever is necessary to make a good event because money makes good events,
And
and
money,
it can flow back into the
payouts
community and
attract
everything
better
like that. What's
payouts
that?
attract better payouts attract better competition too. You're gonna get,
Right.
a better show.
Right. Right. So yeah,
I
for me,
mean,
since I don't like put a lot of time and energy into the promoting thing, so what surprised me with this one is even if I didn't charge that $10, the community did kind of come together to help. They mostly like paid expenses, but they also didn't know that turnout would happen, that it would bring that much business in too, even with like the business owner, like this was a um a proof of success kind of situation. Not a lot of people are familiar with this sport. So, like I'm okay with being the guy, like if I do it next year, that doesn't like make any money if all the expenses could be paid for and give payouts. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It doesn't like stress me out too much. The thing that stressed me out was and why we started late was the weather. Um
Yeah.
it was chilling like the whole like couple weeks going into it, and everything, like all the ducks were in a row. And then I live higher, so we got dumped on like
Yeah.
all day the day before that. And so like I was so stressed out, like I had tables to get there, I had shit to do. I had planned on being at the event at like the venue like 9-10 a.m. to start setting everything up, like all calm and relaxed, but instead like I had to be there like shortly before they got started.
Yeah. That
So
was definitely a stressor.
yeah, 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 yeah. But damn, I had a really, really, really good time.
Yeah. I
Um,
didn't even read the flyer. I didn't even know it was going to be outside.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
It's
just
hard.
looked at
It's
the
hard to
time.
tell. Yeah,
So I
but
mean, I was with shorts, but I was fine. I was okay.
right, right, right. So the one thing that I did notice with the $10 entry, and it would probably be the same if it was free, I had to kind of look. So the general consensus is that if you don't have amateurs or novice, it's going to end up being a small tournament. If you only offer the open or pro class, it's going to be a small tournament.
But you
And
could use the
this was an
amateur. You could use the amateur entry fees towards the pro
to
payouts.
pay for it. Right, 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 right. Yeah, that's a possibility. So this was an experiment to primarily see if promoted as such, if everybody that is experienced amateurs that does well as amateurs, but keeps doing amateurs because it's offered to them, like if you're paying for an entry fee and and it's 40 per arm, 50 per arm or whatever, um, and you're gonna like you might not get payouts for amateurs, but you'll at least get a medal, you'll get some wins and have some fun, versus like the risk of spending $100 to arm wrestle and go 0-2. Almost all of them are gonna, opt to go amateurs.
Right.
So I think that was a big part of the dynamic between those two, why so many decided to go ahead and try it. And when some of them did go 0-2, it didn't feel, like so much of a loss.
Yeah, $10. Like they got the
Yeah,
open.
20
I
bucks on both
I
arms.
pulled a couple of them and they just like gave up. They're like, no.
Right, right, right. And have a good time. And I think it's also easier to pay attention to the losses and learn. I think it's more discouraging when you go in and spend a bunch of money and go 0-2, and you're just more too discouraged to really focus on like, what you need to do to get better.
Well,
Uh,
they couldn't even like tell what they couldn't do
right.
anything.
Right. I was talking to a few people about that, and that's an interesting thing. When you go on to like you first stepping into the open class, and the level, both technique and strength is maybe so far ahead. It's
Yeah.
hard to notice, like look back and say, oh, should I have done this? Should I have done that? Was my technique lacking here, or was I just too weak? But those things, I think they definitely do tighten up. I mostly pulled open uh during my time of pulling in this, sport. But I'm only just now starting to like feel good about my adjustments in a tournament, where like even if I lost, I can say, okay, well, plan A didn't work, but I know what was the right decision, because plan B and C was going to be way worse. So now I can look at it and say, this needs to be stronger. Like this needs to be stronger, and it becomes a lot more clear to what needs to be improved. Kelvin Liao is in the Liu, is that how I say it, Kelvin? Um, Kelvin's in the chat. He says, y'all got to talk about Miguel. Yes, very good point, Kelvin. I didn't know like when he messaged me that he was coming from Mexico, but we had a young gent come all the way out from Mexico to compete in this, and he was dominant, dude. That kid was impressive. Did you guys see Miguel pulling? I think his
He
last
does
name is Checo.
he does calisthenics. That's why he's so strong.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
he's always on like the pull bar and stuff like that. But
Oh, okay. Body weight compound stuff.
yeah, that's what he does. So that's why everything is good. He's well connected because of that. So obviously he arm wrestles, but like that is a huge thing for him, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I love seeing that stuff
he
happen.
was good. He was good, man. He was really good.
Yeah, we're all focused, with the 145 class, it was so stacked and there's so much action happening right now in the 145 class. Everyone's, saying Chewy this, Kelvin this, Christian this, and super hyped about all these people like in the top five, Alden and stuff like that. And then you just see this guy coming out of the woodwork. You don't know his name, and he's just mopping the floor with a lot of people. I love it. I love that stuff, you know
Yeah, that's
because
cool.
the reality is, not to take away from all those guys I mentioned who have earned, I mean, they work hard. They're great. They're keeping things moving. Um, it's things like that. It's things like we don't even have the 155 plus women's class established yet in the rankings. We're, trying to do that right now, but there's so much further to go. We are like so in our infancy and everything like that. And there's a lot that we don't really need to get too caught up in at this point. We just need to see more action. We need to pull more of those Miguels out of the woodworks. We need to build the women's side and have a 125-pound class for the women.
Yeah.
Right now in our state, the ranking only has been able to accommodate 0 to 154. There's one class that we have women ranked in. So I know from this event, Devin from our mountain team, Ian's wife, she competed with Stephanie, and it was close. She's very talented, and not to mention this was Devin's first tournament, and it was an open tournament. So the way that shook out is Stephanie got first, and Devin got second. So my thinking is I don't really care if I talked with Caleb, and it sounds like he's very open-minded to get to, kick off that 155 plus class. I don't care if it starts with just them two,
Yeah.
because look at the proof. Yeah, look at the proof of the 145s. All you got to do is put those names on the rankings and
Yep.
put them in an order, and then it really motivates everybody to start doing more. We do have other 154 or 155 pluses in the state.
You know what? I do gotta say this. If it wasn't for your tournament that you have with the pros only, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have had that opportunity to pull you and Mike. Obviously, I lost to both you guys. I learned in those two losses where I need to be. You know what I mean? Like,
Amazing.
can I
Yeah.
can I beat you guys at those angles that I need to be? Most likely not. But will I have a better shot? Probably.
Yeah.
So like I got a feeling and I felt really good after the loss to Mike because I got Mike really frustrated
Mm,
at the table, and that's hard to do.
yeah.
Um, you got to match the guy in the setup. If you don't like, he's the king of the setup. Like I feel like he has a really great setup, and I felt really good about matching that. And then he had to go to a lane he didn't really want to go to. Um, and then you, obviously, I feel certain things when I was arm wrestling you. I was like, okay, like this is different. You know what I mean? And then I watch film between you and Mike arm wrestling each other. I see the lane he takes. And so it's like I wouldn't study that if it wasn't for actually competing in a pro division. So if I was just amateurs, I would just be focusing on the people I lost to or I had a hard time to or whatever the case was. But now it's like, okay, I'm facing these guys that are either more technical or more stronger than me. And I have to now analyze people that I typically don't analyze. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was really good. You know, I felt pretty good about how I did. So I was happy with it, you know.
Yeah, I was stoked to arm wrestle you, and you're that like perfect candidate too, who will be able to take things from a loss in a opener pro tournament because you've got your spot. You know, you've got your spot that can
Yeah.
compete with people in that pack. You know,
Yeah.
uh, and so that makes you in a perfect place to figure out how to get to that spot or what to improve outside of that spot and everything like that. A lot of us have that, but yeah, that's amazing. I was really glad to have you out there competing. It was cool
Of
to watch
course.
you compete.
Of course.
What's up? Jacob Ardron is in the house.
What's up, Kane?
Bro,
Travis?
Going on.
you were
Going on.
looking pretty big. You were looking good. You're looking healthy at the event.
Yeah, I cut some weight, but yeah, I'm definitely on the bigger side.
Okay, right on. Yeah,
Yeah, well, thanks, Kane.
were you heavier or lighter than North versus South too?
Probably about the same. I want to get down to 205. That'll be my goal. I'm kind of been around 220ish for a little bit now, so I want to get lower. I think actually Chris Kringle with Travis, I want to get there. So 20 pounds in a month, I can do it pretty. I just focus on it, so that's my goal.
You could do it.
Oh, 205?
Yeah, I'm thinking that based off of my how I'm doing, I feel like I could eventually make some top 10 moves in 205 ish. So we'll
Okay.
see. It's been a good year. I'm feeling pretty strong. So we'll see.
Nice. All right, man. Heck
Heck
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to make those weight adjustments, you know, slow and steady, more of a like long-term permanent situation, I think. I don't know like how these guys do it. Mike Brown, man, 20 pounds in a few days for this last event. Shit was
Yeah, I'm talking
crazy.
about a whole month. So I'll do it slow and steady for a month. I'll probably
Yeah,
have five
yeah.
or so pounds at the end. So just gotta be disciplined
Yeah.
during Thanksgiving. And so we'll see.
Hey, and then he rehydrated to 190 pounds.
Yeah. Like, and I told him, man, if you pull this off, dude, don't go show up at the event looking 180. He shows up 190, dick. But when he weighed in with me, he looked like he was gonna die. Literally. I don't know how he pulled that off. It was like,
Yeah, those massive water cuts will feel like it takes like a couple of years off your life. I'm
mhm,
sure he got sick. I'm sure he got sick from the event because his immune system was so low. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I always did. I would feel like crap for a few days after the tournament when I would
yeah.
cut like that.
Yeah, if it's for like a scheduled super match and I'm close, like within 5 to 8 pounds, you know, I might reasonably sort of cut or watch my weight. But like for this, I didn't even think about it. All I knew is like when I weighed in, um, at this event, if I was 169, I would have been like, all right, yeah, we're in 185s. Let's do it. You know, like I am not doing that. I'm not doing it. No way. But respect Michael Brown. That's some crazy shit. That's some dedication right there.
Where is he? Is he going to be on or what?
I gave him the link. Hopefully he'll pop in. Yeah, I like having Mike Brown on. Let's see. Paul Stevens says 20 pros, 10 amateur would be good. Okay. All right. I like that. See that. And yeah, it could improve payouts. So yeah, we'll see how much we can rally the community. We got gyms up here that are very interested in it. The realtor that sponsored this was so into it that this is crazy. Next year, he wants to gather all the realtors on the mountain and do super matches with the realtors.
That's
So
great, dude. That's great. That's awesome.
I
Ken, he was the
love it.
guy clapping the whole time, right? He was clapping in the back. He was very into it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was sitting like right in the middle. But yeah, Steve Valentine. Anybody looking to sell their house, man, this guy's brilliant. He's really, really, really good. Or if you're looking to buy up in the mountains, he might deal down the mountain as well.
For the
But
right
yeah,
price, of course.
immediately I'm thinking, okay, arm breaks. So like between now and next year, I got to start like getting every realtor to come to our practice and just like, you know, show them the basics. But yeah, that would be awesome. Sponsors like having a super match series or section during an event. That'd be super cool.
Absolutely.
Well, Ken,
Al,
really quick, I was listening
yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
Can I just make a comment on the $10? It was
Yeah.
great. So I appreciate the $10 a lot. I was able to do two weight classes, both arms, and I appreciate it because I generally get pretty jittery when the tournament starts, and I foul out. So I fouled out both times for my
Ah,
first the left super heavyweights. I was like, dang it, but it's okay. I got three more whole chances. So that was and I improved and got some W's after that. So I just appreciate that price a ton because man, that was a normal tournament. That would be $50 down the drain, not going 0-2, just like 0-2, just falling out because maybe it was the cold also didn't help the jitters, but I'm pretty jumpy in the beginning. So yeah,
yeah.
I appreciated the $10 price for sure.
I used to get that way too, man. I used to get the jitters like my first like 4 tournaments, and it was weird. I don't know if it was my diet or just doing more tournaments, but at the same time, like I changed my diet, because I was like more of like plant-based diet, and I just kind of like went like more carnivore. I don't know. I changed both at the same time. Like I don't know. It was weird. I don't get the jitters. I go up there and I'm like, I'm in like a different mode now. It's so weird. So maybe it was just more experience. Could have been the diet. I don't know, but we'll call it both.
Right. Yeah, and the jitters can mean like so many things for different people. Like for some, it's just getting used to being on stage arm wrestling, which is easy to remedy. I think you just show up early, get up on the stage, when things are being set up and just kind of get comfortable up there. But if you're like me, Jacob, it's more the competition factor. If you're like a serious competitor, like I will psych myself out to losing matches, because I like take it so seriously. And yeah, I will botch like my first couple pulls until, I kind of shake loose a little bit. But that's also why the best I've ever done in any event or super match or anything was when I was like 100% distracted and felt like shit. So like this event, not that I did great. I mean, I landed second, but the for this one, I wasn't even going to enter last minute. My left was toast. I've been having this injury on my left for a while that was just hurting all week at work. And so I was deciding I can only pull right. And then literally the day before the event, I was working a job on a steep hillside and slipped down a bed of acorns. And just all of my weight went down on my arm, my shoulder, everything. My lat, like something pulled in my lat, my rear delt, my wrist, everything felt bad. And so I showed up feeling pain. And then I'm also having to like coordinate the event and everything like that. And then when it came time to like, do my own registration or whatever, like Christian pop by or something. And like, I was just like, I was just so thinking about other things. I was like, yeah. Just 165 and 185 right, left. And he put it in. I didn't even realize what I said until Harold called out the brackets. I was like, oh shit. And, but be, because my head was so far from like any of that, like and with expectation. Um, yeah, it's always circumstances like that I feel better because it pulls me out of my own space. But then I think there's guys like Mike Linder here. Mike Brown's really good with it. I think Caleb's really good with it. Um, that that serious competitor mindset kind of plays to their advantage. For me, it doesn't. I need to like drink a beer and, have a little fun and calm down. and enjoy myself.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though, Kane. Like when you throw the tournament, it's so hard to like focus. Like last year at Chris Kringle Pull, like sure, like it was still my first year arm wrestling, but it's like it is so hard to throw a tournament and actually pull because you're focusing on making everybody else happy,
Happy,
on
yeah.
and making sure everything's running smoothly. You arm wrestling in the tournament is the last of your last thing you're thinking about because you want to make sure everybody's, the drinks are coming or people are, finding the restrooms or everybody's, not like looking like they're bored type of thing. Like you have to like just keep everybody going. And then it's just like, it's so draining. It is. If you've ever been, Kane, you've been married, you know how draining the wedding day is? Like, that's how it feels when you throw a tournament, man. Like, you're drained in 6 hours, and it's like you don't even want to arm wrestle by the time it starts. Like, you've already set up everything, and it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot to put on an event and arm wrestle. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I know exactly how you felt.
Yeah. But I'm starting to embrace it, and I know a lot of other people that have had their best showings when they had like COVID the week before and lost like 15 pounds when they didn't want to. Or something weird happened that everything was telling them that they would do bad. And then the times where they're like they show up to an event feeling amazing. They're like focused and they're hitting all their numbers and stuff. They feel fresh. They took the right amount of time off before the event, and then they just do horrible and they're like, why? I'm like off. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So it's a weird dynamic. There he is. What's up, Devin Dodd, the Zilla?
What's going on?
What's up? Travis, I don't think we've ever met, but we do have each other on Facebook.
Well, we're meeting now, Matt. We're meeting now. Were you up there as well? Were you up at the tournament or?
Yeah, I didn't compete. I was just there watching.
You're not competing the rest of the year, right?
Not till January.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, I mean, you're a good talent, so I mean, I'm sure you're going to be hurting some people here soon.
Yeah, Devin's one of those guys that our whole team's rallying around right now. And also like kind of freaks us out because he's just like he's so strong, he's the guy that will get hurt if there's not people around him making sure that he's
yeah, absolutely.
being careful during that conditioning process.
Yep, he's got the muscles, but the tendons and ligaments are just so different, man. I mean, yeah.
And it's not when you're coming in without a lot of strength background. It's like they all kind of like condition each other all at the same time, and it's usually a relatively painless process. But when you come in with a bunch of strength and you're not conditioned for arm wrestling, it's different.
I'll tell you this: I've arm wrestled some bodybuilders and all that stuff, and for the most part, I handle myself well. With these guys, obviously, because they don't know the lanes, right? That's really what it comes down to. But these bodybuilders, their hands are so freaking strong, man. You go to grip up. I don't know if it's all the deadlifting or whatever the case is, but it's like even with them not knowing any technique, this arm wrestling, if you really have a great hand, you can really keep yourself in the match. Like it's just that simple. And they don't even know how to use the hand. That's the problem. Like if you even just use your hand. Like, I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty strong hand, but it's like my shoulder is weak. So it's like I really focus on my bicep and my hand when I compete. And so it's like if these bodybuilders can really utilize their hand and their bicep and figure out how to like lock it into place, I mean, I don't think it takes much training, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure Devin over here, right? Like you could probably curl 100-pound dumbbells, right?
I never tried, but probably.
Yeah. So it's like, I feel like this is a bicep game for the most part. You look at all these people in different countries on how they train a lot of bicep.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously, if you stay in that stagnant position, I mean, if you go train with Armenians, I'm sure they're going to tell you bicep curls.
Yeah.
I mean,
which I actually, neglected my biceps over the years because I just never. I don't know. I was an arm wrestler. I didn't use a lot of biceps for the stuff I did. I was a strongman competitor. If you my background, but you didn't use much bicep. That's why. I mean, my shoulders are what's by far my strongest point. So my biceps are actually. Me and Leroy were working out together yesterday. My biceps. I mean, obviously anybody's biceps are weak next to Leroy, but my biceps for how strong my forearms and my grip are, or my biceps are embarrassing. But I just need to figure out how to use my grip and hand strength for arm wrestling.
Yeah,
because I mean, I don't know how to apply my hand, like like in arm wrestling. So
I think the big thing is people think you need to use your whole arm, and like Devin Larratt said, you don't. It's this.
Yeah.
It's this right here. If you can literally just have this and it be that powerful, that's the only move you need. Like he literally says in his videos, like if you have this and you could just lock it and you're just that much stronger, like you don't need nothing else. Like,
right.
I mean, look what he did, to what was that super buff Russian dude that he faced? Like he embarrassed him. You know what I mean? Like I understand Devin's got the years of experience, but like the dude's got 200 pounds of muscle on Devin Larratt.
Yeah. It is Devin's. I mean, his wrist is just crazy. Because to be honest, his hand. I don't know if I would say his hand, but his grip, and it kind of carries over to the same. Is absolutely terrible. Terrible. He has. A lot of people think like just because he's the most known arm wrestler, he'd have a really good grip. But I don't know if you saw the video of him and Brian doing grip stuff, and Devin's grip is terrible.
Yeah.
I can't even close a training
on.
thing on the Kings of Crush. Those Kings of Crush grippers. I can't close the beginner. I can't close the beginner to 0.
Yeah, that's crazy. But your hand.
Well, there's technique behind those too. I know people with not very strong hands that are better at that than me, and there's little techniques to those gripper things.
Well, and Mike, and that's what I'm saying is you have this, like you're extremely strong here. Like it doesn't matter about your grip. If you have this, like I when I arm wrestle you, it's like you cannot move that wrist of yours. Like I don't know if it's like from you being a cook or what, or pressure washing, but that wrist is like rock solid in this area. So yeah, I mean people don't. I think one of the most underrated workouts that somebody could do is like just having like a sledgehammer or like a mini sledgehammer or whatever and just doing this consistently with it.
You don't really have to squeeze. Just think of your hand as like a meat hook. It just has to be in the shape of like a hook. It never has to close because there's a hand.
That's the whole contradiction for me with grip stuff is having a tight grip is something that you never really do in arm wrestling. You never really want to completely hold on, but
it's always right here.
Yeah, you're never doing this. Now, like Mike's finger strength is really strong, but it's like to be fortified here. It's not like he's like, doing this to you.
That's something I've actually noticed I need to work on is obviously I've never trained wrist, and there's no reason to train wrist really unless you're an arm wrestler. So when I do static holds on a preacher with a dumbbell, like a hammer position, my bicep never gives out. My wrist dumps every single time, every single time. So this is nowhere near as strong as this is what I definitely need to work on a lot. Because my biceps during a static hold and a hammer, pretty much, it's pretty much applying like if it was back pressure, my wrist is what gives out every single time. Bicep never even feel my bicep get tired. It's always the wrist. So I definitely need to keep working wrist for sure.
Well, I mean, if you look at it like this, right? Like we see Leroy like just doing really well right now, right? But the thing is, he doesn't arm wrestle with his bicep. If you really watch him, like he's not arm wrestling with his bicep.
No, he's so sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think with his build, I don't think he can honestly get to this position and come back. I think he's so stiff. That's the only lane he can go.
Yeah. I watched him against Dallas. I'm like, he's literally not using any bicep. I mean,
none.
I mean, and obviously Dallas is a strap master, right? So when it comes down to it, I'm like, okay, that was a fun match to watch because I'm like, we have this guy that's using his body weight now to really try to beat Dallas because Dallas has every lane possible that he has, right? So that was a really fun match for me to watch. I'm like, to watch Dallas in the strap is really something, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, a bunch of those guys that came out, man. Artem, David Egan. I love watching all of them pull. It's just some other shit, man. It is just incredible. Armsports Entertainment is in the house. What's up, Armsports Entertainment? They're going to be throwing a massive event this weekend in Arizona, a big super match event. Going to be super, super cool. Um, Paul Stevens is in the house. He says to me, or I like this, fingertip strength is important in arm wrestling. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's this whole thing. I've just been kind of like studying it between people and where the two values come into place. But there's a lot of good arm wrestlers that are just kind of like seeking coverage, right? They just want coverage right here, but they're not really applying pressure or control here at the fingertips. And then there's a lot of arm wrestlers that are actually seeking that bone line, to actually control. Could be here, could be here. Um, but yeah, I've never been the coverage guy. That might be more of a hooker
That's
type
actually
thing.
Leroy's noticing that too, that he can't, because we and him work out often together, but he actually has a very, very short hand
Yeah.
for
Yep.
super heavyweight. So he's actually just been working on his fingertips and just digging
Yep.
in right in that bone. Because he knows
Yeah. Even just
he's
on the
never gonna,
thumb.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's never gonna be able to get coverage,
Yeah.
for against most super heavy. So that's all he's been working on.
Well, what takes away from that coverage too is once you have this meat right here, it's you can't get that coverage. So
Yeah.
you getting strong, obviously, if you've obviously arm wrestled that guy, his freaking meat right here is ridiculous. So that takes away a ton of his coverage as well.
Right.
So, but it's hard to get coverage on him as well. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I mean, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to beat him.
Yeah, I don't have very long fingers. I don't think. I feel like if I cap on people, a lot of times I can't even get these top two fingers to touch their hand. Um, but yeah, I do think it's really good for I don't know. A lot of us when we're learning, we're trying to get better. We watch these arm wrestlers that we like and we try and emulate their style and stuff like that, versus actually looking at our own dispositions,
You got to find your own stuff.
yeah, looking at your anatomy and how you can best use it. I was talking to a teammate about this after the event, but I mean, you look at like Todd Hutchings. He came out to practice with us a few years back, and he really doesn't have a big hand. He's not a big dude, and he doesn't have a big hand. But he has perfected a style that works perfectly for his anatomy that even works with super heavyweights. So yeah, yeah, I think there's a lot that can be learned if people are just kind of like honest with themselves and
Mhm.
how they're built and how they can use it, where you're strong, where you're not.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I definitely agree. I mean, when I first started arm wrestling, I started hooking, right?
mhm.
And then for like 8 months, 9 months, I became a top roller. But then I realized like I just wasn't like certain people I could top roll. It's not a problem. But like I'm in my power lane in a hook. And that's just what it is. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess to be arm wrestler, you got to be versatile. You got to be able to kind of go in any which lane possible. But I think I do definitely favor the hook more than the top roll now.
Yeah,
But with people like you, I learned, right? Like me, you're gonna try to top roll, and I'm gonna try to chase you in the hook, and it's like I can't chase you out of the strap. To be honest, like to have remotely a shot with you, I would have to be in the strap probably. So I would probably have to match you up top and not try to chase you in the hook outside the straps because I got my fingers just running towards your top roll. So I'm just like, there's just certain things you learn. And that's what I was doing with Mike in the strap. So I'm like, All right. So like I said, there's just so many things I take away from wins or losses. So it's good. It's good. It's always a good time.
It's Tom Holland, I believe, that has a long lever like you, who seems to favor the hook, and he does well with it. You really can, with the long arm, I guess, whether you're hooking or top rolling, you really can um go anywhere that your opponent is going with minimal movement, which is definitely an advantage. But yeah, it's strange, the dynamics to this, because traditionally, they say if you're a shorter arm, you're more beneficial move is going to be the hook. If you're long lever, everyone tells you to top roll. But yeah, I don't think it's always true. There's a lane in all of them for sure. You know,
No, I hear you. I agree.
J Squared is in the house. What's up, brother? Good to see you. J Squared is like, yeah, he's training hard, man. I've been watching your training videos. You're getting big. And most of all, it seems like you're staying consistent.
Yeah,
So I
yeah, that's all it
salute
takes.
you for that. Yeah, that's what it is. That's the best programming right there, is the one you keep doing. He says it was an awesome event to watch on the live. Wish I could have been there. I'll hopefully see and pull all the SoCal guys soon. Yeah, that would be really cool, bro. Um, we got the Drew in here as well. Says, what did I miss? Uh, well, I don't. We just talked about the Mountain King event. Did you catch the live stream at all? We had a little chunk missing, but I think a lot of that chunk, Adam Silver, will have had picked up in his video that he's going to be putting out soon. He mostly got table two, and yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Yeah. What else we got? Oh yeah, I really like the programming plans that you've set out for yourself, Devin. Yeah, really, really good shit.
I had to think about it, because if I'm doing table time twice a week,
Yep.
some of the lifting's got to give. So I told my girl, like, it's not really much, no more leg day for the next
Right.
2 months.
Right. Yeah, and for me to start getting better programming, like definitely these shows are going to be fewer and further between. I definitely wanted to do something to talk about the event and the athletes that competed in it and everything like that. But it's getting to be a lot, and my heart's definitely in competing. I've been on the table training 2 to 4 times a week. I'm trying to get out to other team practices on top of the two that we're doing, too. But it's hard finding that sweet spot, you know what I mean, that works for you between table time and gym. I'm loving the table time uh a lot, but needing more gym. And that's why I like the programming that you laid out, because it really does allow for 2 days a week and some strength training
Yeah.
isolated in the gym as well. Yeah, it was really sharp. The Drew says, Kane, you answered me in the live stream. It was great. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You were watching the live stream, and we spoke words in the live stream of the event. So, without further ado, let's talk about what's happening next. We've got the Kringle Pull coming up, which is going to be a really, really cool event. So, I'm over here throwing weird darts at the wall and, like, not charging enough for events and shit like that. Travis, you're one of those guys. Yeah, and I love you for it. You have the willingness to just throw some random idea darts at the wall and see what sticks. And this event's chock full of them, bro.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Can you run down some of this? Because there's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, where do I start? I mean, so my whole thought is like, it all came because I'm an amateur. I'm a little biased towards amateurs, and
Right.
that's
I
kind of
like
like
this
where
idea.
that's kind of like where it started, right? And I think this sport is built on amateurs. And so I came up with this idea that every single person in the tournament, whether you're an amateur or whether you're a pro, you will get a raffle ticket, and every match you win, you get to put your raffle ticket into that prize. So at the end of the tournament, the prizes will be at random. Now, the pros will be still getting payouts for each division. 145s all the way up to 232s will get $100 payouts for the winner of that division. Okay, that's still automatic, same as last year. But the raffle thing, let me go ahead and just go into the garage real quick, and just kind of give people a little sneak peek on what we got going on here. So let me go ahead.
It's gonna be a Merry Christmas,
right? Let me go ahead and flip this camera. Okay, is it blurry? Is that what I see?
Yeah,
okay.
super.
Hold on, let me clean my camera. Maybe it's okay. Screw that. Let me flip it. All right. So we got not the Mickey Mouse. Okay.
Yeah, still so blurry.
Are we blurry?
Yeah. So
because you have your blur background set up.
Right.
It's only gonna unblur your a human. So you got to go in your setting and change the background.
Background and effects. None. Okay, there we go. Okay. I think I got it. Okay, we can see. Okay, so I got two 50-inch flat screen TVs over here. Okay, we got two 50-inch flat screens. I got a full pull-up rack system here. Okay, I got right here is an arm wrestling table. I got to put that together. Right here is a complete bench press.
I want it.
Right here is a weighted training vest. I got grippers from 50 pounds up to 200 pounds. I have all the bands in the car. And I got Dre Beat headphones. So I got I still got a bunch of stuff coming in. I got cash that's going to be on the table. So there's going to be about 12 to 15 prizes that people can choose from that they want to put their raffle ticket in for. So it's going to be really exciting.
Wait, so you get a raffle ticket for each registration that you do?
No, not each registration, for each match that you win.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Ooh.
So for each match you win, so if we have somebody, if somebody's just having a field day, or if they get in, multiple classes, and they're just winning a ton of matches, well, they're going to have more opportunities to win more prizes. There is no limit to how many prizes you can win. If you get in a ton of matches and you go to the finals and you're winning matches, you get more tickets.
Everything I said about cutting weight earlier, I take back. We're going down to the 145s, Travis. I want to win all of those things. Somebody else can win the grippers and the headphones, but I want the bench press. I want the arm wrestling table for the team. I want the TVs. I couldn't even watch the Tyson fight on my smart TV. It said that my device doesn't support live streams on Netflix. So yeah, I want.
Yeah,
I
got a lot of stuff. We're probably gonna have about 20 feet of prizes laid out on the table. We're gonna have gift cards. We're gonna have money on the table. So sure, people, I'm still gonna have like a little something for the overall winners. It won't be anything massive. Where the money is in these prizes. So I think, obviously last year we just did the cash payouts for each division. I think to give back significantly more, this is a different route to go, but it's something that we're going to test out to see if everybody likes it. That's something I'm really interested in, to see what people think. Obviously, it's going to keep people more involved on their matches, and it's going to make them focus a little bit more on their ready goes as well, because that match means a lot to get that ticket. Yeah, so that's what we got for that. Also, I'm gonna put up $150, just as something just fun for all the arm wrestlers. Now, people from the crowd can get in as well, but it'll be a $5 entry. It's gonna be, you have to guess first, second, and third place of each division. Whoever gets the most right will get that entire payout. So if we get 50 people from the crowd that want to get in for $5, you know, that's the only way they're going to get in. People that enter in the tournament, for however many arms you get, you can guess. Like, so if you enter, let's say 4 arms, well, you're going to get 4 different chances to guess your bracket, pretty much. Yeah,
We're
I
gonna need to
mean,
get here early to the tournament to be able to do all these things, huh?
yeah, well, you're going to be able to do those things while the super matches are going on. So I'm telling everybody, hey, tournament starts at 12, but that's when the super matches start. We have like 6 or 7 super matches. So the super matches are going first. So that'll give time for people to do their brackets. You know, while the super matches are going on. Obviously, Mike's one of those super matches. So yeah, I think that'll be plenty of time, obviously.
Don't they need to be done after we know everyone that's entered?
All right, say that again. You kind of cut out.
The bracket, don't we need to be able to fill them out after we know all the entrants?
What the brackets are, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, people are going to have to get there by 12. Like, that's what I say. That's the time on the flyer. So the super matches are going to start at 12, and the tournament's probably going to start at like what, 1:30 by the time the super matches are over. So they have an hour. We'll say people show up late, 30 minutes, whatever. Cut off for entries is going to be probably 12:30 is my guess. But your brackets need to be in before that tournament starts. So it's just something different that
Sounds fun.
we're gonna try it out, and it's gonna keep not only the arm wrestlers, like, because Mike, like, I watched you arm wrestle like probably like a match or two, but it's like if there's 50 people that get in from the crowd and I put up $150, that's a $400 payout right there. You're now going to be involved in every single person's match, because you're gonna be like, I need to keep track of my brackets. Like, it's like a football thing, you know what I mean? Like, I need to keep track of my bracket, or I need to keep track of my team for football Sunday, you know?
Yeah.
People are going to be way more involved in paying attention the entire time. So it's, you know, it's not like you're going to sit there and eat your popcorn and watch over the top. You're gonna be like, shit, I need to watch this match because this is in my bracket. You know, this person's still alive, type of thing. So
For golf tournaments, we used to have what was called a Calcutta the night before the tournament. So you could actually that you thought we could win. So
You're breaking up,
like
Mike.
qualifying
Say all that again.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm right at the top of the mountain. Okay, well, it's called a Calcutta. And, you know, let's say you have a tournament that's seeded. You can buy and bid each armor. So if you buy the winner, you get all the money that was bid at the auction. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like some guys would go for like $3,000 or $4,000. I mean, they were big golf tournaments, but yeah, people got into that.
Yeah, it's really smart idea though, for the engagement. I like that, Travis. And that's the only thing really that everyone would need to set up before the start. The whole raffle thing, you know, you're kind of accumulating with your wins. And I really like that too, because it kind of changes the shape of how you can feel like you're getting something out of an event. You know, those typically all those little wins either add up to you know, a first, second, third, eighth, whatever. Maybe a payout, maybe not, but to be able to hold value on each individual win within a tournament is super cool. I like that.
Yeah, I have so for third place we have just regular medals. For second place we have a plaque, and then first place is a plaque with Santa, and then overall trophies are like almost 3 feet tall. So we do have obviously medals for every single division. And I am implementing the 145s obviously into this tournament, but I'm also implementing a 145 amateur division, because I believe if I look at the 145s right now, just full honesty, I'm looking at probably 6 pros. The rest are amateurs. And if some of those amateurs arm wrestle some of those pros at the top, they can get hurt, especially if they're new, right? Is what I look at. So I definitely want to see a lot of 145 amateurs come out. I don't think maybe the top 10, who knows, but I don't think a lot of those guys are pros yet in my eyes.
Right.
I think like the top 6 or top 7 are potentially pros. The top 3 obviously are, but if I'm looking at it really, I would say maybe the top 6. Everybody else needs to be pulling in amateurs until they just get better. That's just what it is.
I agree. I think those top 6, everybody below, that never can even put up really much of a fight against those. I think the gap is huge.
It
It's
is,
pretty
and
big.
and that's what I'm saying. Literally the top 3 are like right there, but Chewy looked like he was kind of on another level this last weekend.
Mhm.
And then yeah, like I said, the top 6 are probably pros, and everybody else, like they had you guys had like a 15-man round robin. Like not all 15 of those guys are pros. I think the top 6 are pro material, and then the rest are amateurs. So
Right.
I don't expect to see 15 pro 145s.
But
So
that's the beauty of it. We had to know,
of
And
course,
now, so now
100%.
we've got the pool. We've seen some movement, and you're 100% correct. There's a proven 5, maybe 6 people that, and the only variation within that is like your Derek Trungs.
Yeah, yeah,
That guy's good. He's really good, but he's 113 pounds, you know,
yeah.
and what is it? How soon will it be before we can get a class down to there for him? So, I mean, is he going to be more competitive with that group of amateurs? Probably, but we're also talking, guys that are right there at 145 pounds.
Yeah.
So, but no, yeah, it's the perfect time to look at that, and a perfect time to establish an amateurs for it. So yeah,
I mean,
that's
I'm
great.
trying to think of like the top 5, and I'm missing somebody here. So you got Chewy, Manny, Danny, Kelvin. There's somebody
Christian.
else.
Christian
Okay,
for sure.
Christian. That's who it was.
That's 5.
Yeah, I feel like
Alden is up there.
what's his name from up
He's right
north?
in there.
Yeah, Alden's right there in the mix, right?
You
So
also have Santino.
Oh,
yes,
for sure. Yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about
yeah,
Oh, there's
Santino.
Brandon Ryan too. Yep.
yeah. So yeah, like in
What about
reality,
That's
that's
7.
that's the top 7 right there,
yeah?
right? So
Yep.
and you have a few guys on the outside, like 7, 8, 9, maybe like looking in, but like there is a gap there for sure. The top 3, I mean, there's a massive gap. I mean, yeah, if I'm gonna put my top 3 personally, like if I'm looking at it right now of what I've seen lately, I'm looking at Chewy number 1. I'm looking at obviously Danny beat Christian on fouls. I have to put Danny above right now, and then Christian at 3, and then Kelvin at 4, and then Alden
Yeah,
5.
I think Manny beats a couple of those.
Yep.
I don't think Manny can beat Chewy, Christian. Alden's looking really good. So
Man, and it's hard. Santino's honestly right there with them too.
That's what I was just gonna say is
Yeah, he is.
Santino. I think Santino is a level, if not 2 levels above all of them, all even Chewy. Now, what I mean by that is experience
oh,
and
100%.
versatility.
100%.
Santino, as long as he comes in healthy, will have an answer for every single one of those competitors, and he will be good in any one of those answers, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Some of those styles won't work for some of the people, and he's the most well-rounded for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
With
we
Chewy,
just
we're talking, will he get to his hook? With Kelvin, you know, he's getting pretty versatile between top roll and hook, very strong in the hook. Danny, it's the same thing. Will he get to his hook? And I think he does sometimes top roll, but when you're talking like Santino and Brandon Ryan, these guys that have been in the sport and like actually travel a lot, like
If I'm not mistaken,
those guys will go anywhere with you. Manny too,
but he doesn't. He
he's
doesn't
newer.
really. Yeah, he doesn't really take it very serious, right? He doesn't really train very much for it, does he?
I think he does. He just doesn't like come to a lot of practices.
Yeah.
He will show up for events, and I believe he does hit a lot of calisthenics and
Okay.
gym stuff. So um yeah, he is working, because I can tell you in the what year and a half, maybe 2 years he's been on our team, he'll like disappear for a couple months, maybe even 3 months. And then when he comes back, he's stronger and he's better.
Whatever happened to that kid Junior?
Oh, Junior from yeah, Jaden's kid.
Yeah, whatever happened to him? He moved
They
away.
all moved to Oklahoma.
Would he be technically a 145er? I don't know what he is.
I know he was for a while. I think I just
He
saw
was.
a post from him saying he's trying to get to 176.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah,
He's also young, so he's getting those growth spurts for sure.
yeah, and he was a talented kid. He's got a very explosive hit. So I'm really interested to see where he's at now that he's been out there training with the Oklahoma boys.
Mhm.
They're good and they're different. And in my opinion, like that's how you get really well, it's not opinion. Everybody knows this. If you get out and travel and train with other states and stuff like that, compete with them, that's leveling up right there. And those guys are strong out there. They a lot of them arm wrestle and train differently than we do, I think. Um, so yeah, I'd be really interested to see how he's done. It seems like our ex-teammate Damian Schlosser has leveled up quite a bit too. At first I wasn't really sure where he's at, because so I knew he would level up going out there to North Carolina, moving there and training with them. Because he gets strong in different ways, and he even attests that like he became a hand puller once he started training with them. When he never was out here with us, he wasn't really like a hand and wrist guy. Um, but all the guys that he was beating, like he's one of the top guys, I believe, in his state. I didn't know who they were, but just recently, Damian beat what's his name? Um, a well-known puller. He kind of reminds me of like a Mega Mike almost, just maybe a little shorter, but he's been around the sport a long time. He had a big win, basically. Let's just put it that way. Anybody in the chat that knows who I'm talking about, yeah, yeah, that was just proof in the pudding for me. But yeah, Junior's been reaching out. Like it sounds like he's been really interested in what's going on out here. So yeah, hopefully we can get their whole family to come out soon. I miss all of them. They're really great people.
Is Danny on a team, or is he just trained by himself?
Dowler?
Yeah.
Danny does train, I believe, with teams. I think he bounces around to like a couple teams out there. I think he gets up to the arm benders, and I think yeah, I don't know. There's one spot that starts with an L. I can't remember the name. But yeah, I think he bounces. A lot of them do up there, bounce around through different teams. Um, yeah, we're very like fortunate down here. Those guys are very dedicated in the north, because a lot of the teams are so far spread apart. And even the teams themselves, like the team members, just to go from their home to their own team's practice is quite a distance to travel. So those guys, I think they go through a lot more to be able to train even their events that they have out there. We're
Have you had that last
spoiled.
tournament? Are there any locals that reached out to you that are interested after that tournament?
Like contacted me. No, but my teammates are the ones that I believe got the information for. We were talking earlier on the show, a woman we met named Penelope, who's competed a lot and I think new to our mountain. She like lives here now. And there was
Where's she originally from?
East Coast somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah. And there was a bunch of like cowboys that came and for the after pull and we're arm wrestling, and there was a whole group before them that came to try it out. And I know for sure like one cowboy dude said he's gonna be there tomorrow. So we'll see if he lives up to it. I'm kind of learning the hard way, the way, Derek has told me stories about it, but it is hard, man. It's hard. But they've been like giving me tips to get people in. The
Yeah, because a lot of new people, they're going to go to one practice and realize how bad their arm hurts and never want to go back.
Yeah.
That's what I did off and on for. I never would have went back if Derek, me and Derek weren't so close and worked together, and he'd always bugging me.
Right.
When I very first experienced the arm pain, I was like, no way would I ever do that. But
yeah,
Derek's literally bugged me for years. So
right. I think for my area here, it's gonna be a lot more personal reaching
You need
out.
to give you a different reaction than a normal person to want to arm wrestle.
Yeah.
Pain isn't pain.
Right. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have to like source out our actual locals and more at a personal level, reach out and get them to come. Unfortunately, Stockade, they do have a small crowd of locals that come in and out, but mostly on the weekends, but they, some trickle in on the weeknights.
have you thought about seeing
They're
if
a
seeing
big,
if you could put some
tourist destination, so we get a lot of tourists that
right?
roll.
Have you thought about seeing if you could put some sort of like flyer at Goodwin's or something?
I do. Yeah. Yeah, they take it down after like a week. So I think it's a week, it might be a month. So I have to keep going back and putting it back up.
Gotcha.
I've been the gyms have been letting me put them up. I've even like walked around in the gyms and like stopped people and talked to them and like handed them flyers. And I've gotten a few that were like, yeah, we're gonna be there Wednesday. This sounds really interesting, but they don't follow through.
Have you thought about, does it say anywhere on the flyer that it's free?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I must say that might be a big thing. People don't want to, pay to be part of a team.
Right. But even those that like tell me they're going to come and seem interested, they're the small percentage. When it comes to the gyms, when I go in there and I look at somebody, I'm like, he looks strong. I'm going to go talk to him. And immediately there's one guy that came off the pull-up bar and I was like, hey, would you be interested in an arm wrestling team? And like, I think I got to like arm when he said no chance. And most of them it's injury. They're afraid of getting hurt. They watch arm breaks on YouTube and stuff like that. And
They always think I don't want somebody to break my arm. They don't realize that you're only going to break your own arm if you're not listening.
yeah, it's so easy not to. It's so easy not to. And that doesn't, I know people that I highly respect that have broken their arms. That's nothing against them, but in most of those circumstances also they weren't really established with the team. They didn't have people training them into safety and the basic connections and starting slow. That's the whole safety dynamic too. Getting people to start safe it's tough. So
have you ever seen an arm break at a practice?
at a practice, no, I don't think we've ever had any on our team, like at our team practice, which we pride ourselves on quite a bit. But I've seen or heard at least one per year, and it's always in competition. Usually I hear them.
Yeah.
I'll be on table 1 arm wrestling and I'll just hear a big pop right behind me on table 2. Yeah, it's rough, but that's the thing, is like we're a growing sport, so there's not a lot of like teams accessible. There's not a lot of teams that even, implement safety, and it's a bittersweet thing because there's a downside to teaching safety too right off the bat and having those requirements. There's a lot more pros, I think, to it, but let me give you an example. Most of the people that approach us at our Wednesday night practices at the bar, they've had a few drinks, they're with their friends, they look out and they see what we're doing, and they all come out like super wanting to have fun and all interested in it. And, their girlfriends are like, hey, you and you, Dylan, need to arm wrestle, you, Jason, or whatever. And then they come up and ask if they could use our arm wrestling table, two people that have never done it before. And that is how I got Malia says that's how a lot of us though, that's what we did in bars and at our own risk or whatever. And that's what they want to do. And half of me wants to let them have fun and get the bug more, but the other half of me with how like my team has trained me and everything like that knows, there's no way I'm going to let these two people arm wrestle each
Well,
other.
if that does happen, nobody's going to know the circumstances. They're going to just know that, hey, somebody broke their arm at that arm wrestling practice.
Right.
They're not going to know, the circumstances on how it happened. They're just going to hear about the arm break and that's it.
Right. So yeah, we were talking about this the other night with Derek Devin, but like I really do want to find that balance where we can make sure they're safe, but they're having fun. The Cowboys and stuff that came in and wanted to try it out. They wanted to arm wrestle each other the end of the night, Saturday after the event. And Johnny was doing exactly what he was supposed to do. He was teaching them safety and everything like that, and going through all the basic motions of pulling and, follow your hand and don't do this and all this stuff. And I'm also watching these two guys like, so I was watching the two guys kind of like, okay, this is not like what I came up here for. And then I'm watching their girlfriends and I'm hearing one of them saying, this is boring, you know, and I don't blame them for it, because if you take us out of our mentality and what we know of arm wrestling and our experience, it's different the way you like look at it and think about it. You just want to go up there and have fun and, press somebody incorrectly and like, do all that. So, yeah, what I encouraged for them was to like, why don't you guys have fun? But if I see you go like this even a little bit, I'm stopping you. Just you know, follow your hand, and we'll go over everything else soon. And they did have fun for a brief moment, and they did what we asked. But it's hard. I think fundamentally, putting all that shit aside, like safety and stuff like that, it's the mentality that's the hardest gap to bridge, you know, because we think differently. It's the same reason why to spectators tournaments are boring as hell, and why we know super matches are super
Any
exciting.
sport I play, I can't watch. I can't watch any sport. If I watch it, I want to do it.
Right.
Well,
That's any sport though, for the most part too. If you don't fully understand the sport, it's boring.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, most people, I grew up watching baseball like my whole life. My dad's obsessed with baseball, so I go watch baseball on TV. Most people don't see it from the same perspective, and they're like, "This is the most boring thing in the world."
Mm-hmm.
And especially arm wrestling, all people think it's just they don't understand. Like, we can see, people are trying to do, or what I mean, like you see it from a totally different point of view.
Yeah. I think that's part of the slow growth to it. I agree. Like, what makes baseball is that like we can get together and watch it and sit there and argue with each other of what call was a bad call or what play they need to do, because we're invested in it. We get it. We enjoy it. Um, and I think just in reality, because we all followed the same path. We were all those cowboys, we arm wrestled on lunch tables wrong. We arm wrestled at parties and bars and stuff like that, incorrectly, but it was fun as hell. And maybe we were fortunate enough not to get hurt. But because it got to be that fun or whatever. And I'm just saying, most of us, that's the story that, we decided on our own to dig a little bit deeper. For a lot of people, it meant YouTube or something like that. For me, Alpha Empire came first. Like I realized, hey, all the times I have done this, I was halfway decent at it, like in like the normal world, And so I actually Googled where arm wrestling was in my area, found uh, Alpha Empire, talked to Derek, and that was that. But most people I hear, they're like, yeah, I have fun arm wrestling in life, and then I YouTube and I find Devin Larratt or Schoolboy or something like that. And I think that's where their education starts to come into play, and then the bug happens. But
Yeah, I mean, look, the growth in this sport, obviously they started doing the super matches and whatnot, but we're not just gonna do that over here, you know what I mean? Like we're not just gonna be like, hey guys, the only tournaments we're throwing are super matches.
yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
be in the super match to be able to no, that's for people that are paying for pay-per-views.
Hmm.
And maybe eventually we'll get big and maybe we'll do 2-day events to where we'll do like I've said this before. If I was to get those high level pullers, I would do a 2-day event because I would have those elite pullers for a pay-per-view event, and then the next day they're still here, and so it would be more of like a tournament aspect, big tournament stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I love tournaments. I think they're
yeah,
freaking
I
great.
think tournaments are absolutely necessary for the community and for people involved in the sport. Um, I think the only issue with arm wrestling is the time frame. It's a sport that takes too long. Um, it bores people for how long it is, and I think that's why they go about the super matches the way they go about them. But I mean, let's say we have 200 pullers at Chris Kringle Pull, right? I want to try to get this shit done in 4 hours. You know what I mean? I don't want to have a 7 hour tournament. Like that's a long time. I went to a tournament in Vegas and I was there for 9 hours. It was terrible. It's boring. You don't want to be there for 9 hours. Like get 3 tables, get 4 tables up, get multiple people doing brackets. If you know you're gonna have a massive turnout like that, like have the procedures in place for people not to fall asleep, you know? Like that's too long of a day, especially if you bring kids with you and no, you want to have a 4 hour event and you want to have 2 to 3 hours of after pulling. Cool. But if you have a 9 hour event and 2 to 3 hours out, that's a 12-hour day. And with a place that doesn't serve uh, food or whatever the case is, like yeah, have fun with that. So I mean you want people in comfortable seats too. So and that's why I'm kind of like, hey, shit, if we do have a 6 or 7 hour tournament, at least people are gonna be in comfortable movie seats, right?
Yeah.
Like, you
Oh, I
know,
can't wait to do a tournament in a movie theater. That's gonna be so much fun. You said 6 super matches. Can you lay those out for
I
us?
don't, yeah, I don't have them. I don't have them like all at the top of my head. I'll have to look. I know Linder, and Vosgen is one.
That's
Uh,
a good one.
uh, Benji and me, you and
Wait, Benji and you?
yeah, me and Benji.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. That's gonna be a
Uh,
good one. That's gonna be a good one, Travis. Yeah. I hope you guys get into a grinder. Are you hoping to flash them or are you gonna try and get in there?
I don't. I mean, I'm feeling pretty strong. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ah, I like this.
So
Very good.
I don't expect to get like if he stops me in certain positions, sure, but I don't know. Like if I get in my spot, I don't really see it being in his favor, to be honest. Like I feel like if we go to the top, I feel like I have a lot of pressure at the top. I can go any lane. My confidence, I feel like I could go any lane with Benji. The only thing that I would be like, okay, flop me. Okay, I'm just gonna top roll. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna stay outside. If you want to go in the hook with me, I wouldn't go in the hook with me either. So like me personally, I feel like I have every lane. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I hope he's training until then because I won't be. I'll be doing Christmas lights.
Nah. Well, I mean, I was really impressed with him at North versus South too.
I was too. I was too. I seen the
He
video.
What I saw was him find his groove for setting the hook. Um, I've always known he's nice and sticky in the hook, if he commits to it. But there was some kind of like uh epiphany moment or something I feel like that happened to him. I've never seen him set it that good and be consistent with it.
He looked really good. He looked really good against his opponent, and River Welch was the guy's name, right?
Right, right.
Yeah, whatever his name is. He looked really good. He beat him pretty much in every aspect. He looked pretty dominant, and that's why I kind of was intrigued on that. I do feel like I've leveled up in the last few months. So, um, if I mean, even not even really working out right now, I feel like I'm getting stronger just by being out in the field kind of every day, you know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If I win, cool. If not, then I suck. So,
Yeah, you know how Todd Hutchings rubs their head when he wins? You should give Benji a frying pan if you win.
yeah, I gotta get at least a few more of those workouts. I'm telling people underestimate it. People think it's stupid. Some people think it's actually really cool. Um, the frying pan works. It works. I'm telling you right now, it works. I will definitely be doing a couple more of those. But anyways, back to the matches. You got to match Kane. That's gonna be a banger. That's gonna be an absolute banger. So uh, I'm
Who you
very
pulling?
excited.
Who you pulling, Kane?
Chad Shelby.
I know the name.
He's
He
been
looks
doing good. He came from Hawaii, and he lives out here now in California, more up north. But he's a hand guy. He's a hand guy, and we have somewhat similar styles. But yeah, he's been doing well. I think he took first at one or two recent tournaments. He's been placing.
Yeah,
okay.
he's always
He was at North versus South.
yeah, and he
Yes, he
lost.
went
He lost.
against Mike Brown and lost.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
all of his yeah, that was when he was fresh here, I believe, from Hawaii. But I've watched him get a lot better since North versus South too.
Who's he training up there? Is he training with Caleb and them?
I think he trains by himself.
Yeah, I don't think he trains with anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because he wanted a match with Caleb, and I seen that obviously you lost to Mike at Kringle one,
Hmm.
and he lost to Mike at North for South, and I was like, I think you guys are very similar, and I think you guys will absolutely have wars together.
Yeah, it makes
So,
sense. Yeah.
but yeah, I really like that. We have Michael Brown and Travis Jordan.
Oh, right. Right, right, right.
Yeah, we have that match. That's going to be a really good match. I think it's going to be a good match. And the only reason why I think that is because Mike was not fresh in Big Bear, but Travis did beat him, and it wasn't like Travis was struggling to beat him.
Hmm.
Um, and Travis's hand is very strong, and
Hmm.
he has a lot of top pressure to match Mike in the setup.
Yep.
People, Mike better come strong because I think Travis can match him at the top. So
Yeah.
he has a lot of side pressure. Travis isn't weak, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Travis is the bald, kind of older guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this could be one of those like styles make matches situations because I just beat him both arms at the Mountain King event and Mike Brown beats me, but does that mean I think that Travis can't beat Mike Brown? No.
Who
No,
wins? Who wins between Mike and Ricky?
oh man. I feel like they just had oh, they were supposed to have a match, but I think they did not.
They never went against each other up there.
I really don't think they have, but it would be an interesting match for sure. I think there's somewhat similar in strengths. I think Ricky's got a bit of a stickier spot, but both of them are very technical psychological pullers. So
I would have to say,
that would be
I
an
mean, if they
interesting
got
one.
in this strap, I think it would definitely benefit Ricky, I would think. But I don't know.
Yeah, Mike's really good in the strap as well. But yeah, Ricky definitely has the experience and he's got a horrible sticking spot. Um, Going back to Travis versus Mike Brown, yeah, you're right about Travis's hand, Travis. And I think the one thing I had to execute with him was speed to get him. But Mike Brown isn't that fast. He's just smart. He's got a long lever and he's strong. So and the one thing I did notice about Travis Jourdain from North versus South, it was the only time I've seen him have a super match. Um, a lot of people don't do this. He adjusted from round to round. I believe he had maybe two matches. It might have just been one, but I know he lost, I think, round one and then made a good adjustment through the rest of the match. And I could see that happening. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, like I said, Mike Linder pulled both of them too in Big Bear. So, I mean,
Mike Brown felt a lot stronger this weekend than
yeah.
at Big Bear.
Oh, great. Yeah.
yeah,
Big,
yeah,
there was a big difference in I guess, what I felt.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't know. I guess I let Mike take whatever he wanted and kind of hit either both both spots, and Travis too. So, but Mike had more from what I felt.
isn't it nice when you're so strong that you could just do that?
Well, I actually do that a lot. Just and then when I get beat, it's, I guess, partially my fault probably, because I don't make sure that I have, you know everything.
So Mike, I know you talked to Vosgen at the World Series, and then me and Christian were talking the other day. I think he's going to talk to Vosgen, but this match we were talking has to be at the 165 for that rank. That's kind of like why we want it, right? At that
Sure.
165, because we want to see if you can take that rank, obviously, right? And if you guys are several pounds above or whatever the case is, then
I
obviously
could I
that's
could I mean, I could be a 165 tomorrow. I mean, right now I'm like 171, 172, so it's not a big,
oh,
I can drop.
yeah, I know it's not a big deal for you. I think Vosgen's sitting a little heavier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't know if he wants to cut, but Christian's going to talk to him. But it needs to happen because we want to see who's going to be the number two 165.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
when David's healthy, you're going to beat him in a tournament. So
Right. Yep.
that's what's gonna happen with that. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I think the super matches for Chris Kringle Pull will probably be, I would say, about an hour and a half. But we're gonna do something really fun. I believe there's entrances on both sides of the stage, so we're gonna have Travis Bajent kind of announcing like you're entering a fight, and you're gonna have a walk in, uh,
Nice.
and then each competitor is gonna be coming from different sides of the stage. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool. Travis actually was supposed to. So King of the Table was supposed to be in Vegas, right? And then they switched it to New Jersey. So I don't think Travis Bajent is going to that anymore. I'm not too sure, but he's 100% coming. So
Does he have family here in
no,
California? Or no?
Travis,
Didn't he
I
used
don't
to live
know.
here? He used to live here, right?
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I think he's always been in like West Virginia or wherever the hell he's
Oh,
been.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think he's ever left his house since he's been born. But no, I mean it's gonna be really cool. Um, because yeah, I mean it's nice when you get to meet like world champions like that, and then Travis is one of the best commentators in the game for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, this is gonna be it's gonna be a fun way to end the year for sure.
Two more
Yeah, I'm
super
excited.
matches.
What happened?
There's 2 more super matches.
Okay, Elijah and
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know that guy's name. It's a Mateo, I think it
Yeah.
is.
That's
Mateo Matz's I cannot say his last name. Matv is what I'm gonna say. And then the other one, I don't know, Kane? Can't think of it at the top of my head.
well, so far, yeah, Elijah's and Mike's matches I'm looking forward to the most.
Elijah is too much. Elijah's strong, man.
Yeah, I love watching that kid pull though. Yeah.
Yeah, Elijah's strong. He's he's gonna win 3-0.
Does Christian have a super match at this one, or
I've
was that
talked to
just Friendsgiving?
no, that was just Friendsgiving. I talked to him about it, and he kind of just wants to just try to win his division.
I'm just trying to think of that 6th one. Was it a 145 match? What was it?
I'll have to look at the flyer because I'm almost done with the flyer.
Okay, well,
Oh, it was Mika.
Mika, there we go.
What? How do we
Matt
forget
or
that? Mika
Matt?
versus who?
I don't remember who he's pulling.
Yeah, Matt Silva.
Yeah, Matt. I thought. Yeah.
No,
Not
no,
Matt
no.
Silva. No,
Matt Hughes.
Matt Hughes.
Matt Hughes. There we go.
Matt
Matt Hughes,
Hughes, who's in the chat right now, is Simple Man. That's right. Yes,
I'm like,
it's
I'm
right there. It's mine, Mika and me. This
drawing a
would be a
blank.
good one. Yeah. This is one where they don't have mirror styles. But they're both going to be trying to get what they want. That's going to be a good one, man. You've pulled Mika and you've pulled Matt, right, Mike?
Well, I never pulled Mika really.
In a competition. But you
It's
never pulled either of them
and
in a competition.
no, and it's left-handed, and like my left hand's like barely just coming around now. It was injured and weak when I pulled both of them basically. So I didn't. They were both way the hell stronger than my left hand.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely going to be one of the good matches. Yeah, they're all good matches. They're great. You did a good job, Travis. This is going to be entertaining. You did put us in a pickle though, because we all want to watch that and put our guesses in on the brackets. So you might have to allot an extra 30 minutes or something like that.
That's
Uh,
fine. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I just want you guys to get your brackets. It's gonna be funny because people are gonna be like trying to see what other people are picking.
Mhm.
I am gonna have I'm gonna have a big flat screen TV to where you guys can see the brackets as
Oh,
well.
okay.
So I'll be
Yeah,
having a
that makes
flat
it
screen.
exciting.
I won't just have like
The seeded in this with seeded, like from names top to bottom, the seeds where the brackets, the names start, who faces who, like at the beginning, right? And then you
it.
pick.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you'll be able to see the seeds.
Yeah.
And so I'll have, like I said, I'll make sure our bracket person gets there early enough to where it's like have more than enough time. People are gonna come up, they're gonna be lining up trying to fill out their brackets. And you technically have to fill out because we have to see your brackets too, because we don't want you changing your picks, obviously, right?
We have to hand them
So
in. Yeah.
well, we want you to pay attention to your brackets as well. So you can just put probably like the initials of the person like that we'll have records of just so people aren't changing their stuff, because as I would like to think people aren't shady, but they are. So I'm not saying arm wrestlers are. I'm just saying there's more shady people than I would like there to be that
Mm.
would just do, especially if there's $400 or whatever on the line for something like this. Like,
Or have their
let's say,
little 10-year-old, fill it in
let's say there's 70 places or whatever. How many places are there, Kane? You just had a tournament. How many places total are there?
entries.
60 something.
Yeah, it's right around
For,
60. If you're doing the
for
145 class, I believe it's 60.
Yeah, so around 60, right?
Mhm.
So that's a lot of stuff to pay attention to, obviously, but you're not going to tell me somebody's going to go 55 for 60. That's not going to happen.
if you don't know who they are, yeah.
Like I don't see it. I don't see people getting probably not even half, to be honest. Like
Yeah,
I just
it's
I think the winning guess, because you have to guess first, second, and third correctly, not who's going to be top three. You have to guess it correctly first, second,
Order.
third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, you have to
So
guess first, second. Oh, because so it's not you don't have to go like all the way from the beginning and pick each round.
no,
It's
no,
just
no, no.
top three. Okay,
Top,
okay.
just top three. So
Gotcha.
you have to guess it. Like if you get one of the top three, that's 1 point. If you get two out of the top three, sure you get two out of the three or whatever, right? So whoever
Can
has
we
it
do
the most,
a box trifecta where you box it and then it doesn't matter the one, two, or three?
I think I
That's
think
horse racing. That's horse racing.
I think I think the
Exacta.
I think
Trifecta.
that
Yeah.
I think the tiebreaker is going to be you have to choose the super match. I mean, not the super match. You have to choose the overall winners as well. So that'll be like the box, right? Like
Yep.
it
If it's
would.
a tie.
Wouldn't we love to see like a Mega Mike and a Derek in this tournament? Like, wouldn't that be great to see these heavyweights against one another? Like, come on.
Would. It would.
It's not gonna happen though, because we know that's the money fight, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we want to see these top three heavyweights like going against one another. That's what we want, you know.
Who would you
That's
say
what
third?
I mean. I don't know who's third ranked right now. Who's third ranked? Leroy's not third ranked. He's probably top five or
We're
six.
talking super heavyweight. I believe it's gonna be Tom Nelson.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Tom. Yeah, Tom would be third because Mike just beat him.
Yeah.
Is Derek still number one or is Mike number one now?
On the right, Derek, I believe, is still sitting at number one.
He hasn't pulled in forever in a tournament though, right?
Um, I don't think so. In California, I don't know how long ago it was. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm not sure, but he just cleans house when he does. And I'm not sure if he's really that concerned about keeping the ranking or not, but he's never told me one way or the other. Um, we all just know he's at a super high level. But yeah,
Well,
I
well,
think
of
we all
course.
love to see it.
I mean, we all want to see the best of the best show up, right? Like we want to see Ola,
Right.
we want to see Dallas, we want to see David Eggian and Arson. But a match I would like to see. I know Derek has some weight on Arson, but that would be a banger.
Mm, yeah.
Arson versus Derek for the King of California.
Yeah. And I wanna keep seeing those guys get out there more.
That was awesome to see. That was awesome
Yeah,
that they
seeing
came.
Fresh in Florida, that was so cool. But yeah, those guys are just straight killers.
I love seeing the David Eggians and Oles and Arson come out. Vrej didn't pull, but I don't know why Vrej didn't pull. There was money on the line, right? Like he always arm
Oh,
wrestles for
Probably
money.
didn't
King?
want to be a big mean bully and take everybody's
Yeah,
money, is what I
yeah,
am assuming.
Well, because he just won. Because he just won. Well, I think Arson could beat him though. That's the thing.
Well, that's in
So,
an
I mean,
overall.
you're talking guys that are very
But
calculated.
Brej could pull the 185, the 205, and he could pull the 230s because he's
Well,
only like 180 pounds, right?
yeah, but they're also very calculated in their path. Yeah, I've been talking to them a bit, and it sounds like the next thing they're doing is Washington State. So, they have very calculated training and everything that leads up to that. Um, and yeah, so yeah, they might just have already picked out the tournament that they're doing, but I was more just like super stoked that the guys came to just hang out and watch, man.
Yeah.
That was
They didn't have
awesome.
to do that.
That's a drive for them too.
Yeah, yeah, from yeah, LA for sure.
Well,
I've
at
been
least
a
no
bad
Chris Kringle.
host. Let me catch up on the chat just a little bit here, guys. Um, see what these other guys have to say here. It looks like Paul's going to be cutting to 205 for the Kringle Pull. He's probably thinking the same thing as me. He wants to win some of those raffles. The Drew says, in regards to what you were saying, Mike Linder, that bottom 8 had the Calcutta auction. I don't know if you ever follow the bottom 8, but
No,
yeah,
I didn't. But yeah, it's if it's like a seeded tournament, the night before they'll auction off all the participants, and if
right.
you buy the winner, you take the pot like 70%, and then like second place, third place splits the others. I mean, some guys I've seen walk away with like 30,000-40,000. They're bidding like crazy on these
Yep.
golfers. I mean,
Yep.
I was the second to last. I think I went for even 2 grand.
Damn. Alden Salazar, is that how I say it? Says Santino is very good. He's the most technical 145er in his opinion.
By far, yeah.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that for sure.
I would love to see Santino come to the Chris Kringle Pull for sure.
Yeah, I hope he does. Let's reach out to him. Get all of his Sac County team to come out. They're all good. Who's he got? Austin Fenley on his team too.
Austin is coming.
He is gonna come. Oh, that's right.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, he said he was. Oh, J Square's talking. When I was saying there's another place that Danny might train that I think he does. That starts with an L. J Square straightened that out for me. He says it's Livermore. Yes, that's the one. Paul Stevens says that Chris Kringle, are you doing any team competition like teams with the most points, teams of 5 pays, $10 or $20 each, and the winning team gets the money? Paul thinks his team can beat everyone else's team. That's basically what he's saying.
San Diego team?
Yeah, he's got his team out there. Brent Lagasse, who competed at the Mountain King, in the super heavies, he's on his team. Yeah, he's got a few people out there, I believe. I think Zawacki also trains with him.
I mean, it comes down to this, like, how confident is every team, and would every team put up money against one another?
Right.
That's my question, because I mean, obviously, I pull with the compound. Is like, I'll put up our money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If every other team wants to compete,
Well, see, I know Alpha will, but it also might be a little bit unfair though, because
Is that going off of who wins each weight class?
well, what Paul's proposing is points, who gets the most wins. And I know like for sure Alpha Empire like is
bigger showing. Probably.
We're gonna have a big showing at the Kringle Pull for sure.
Or you're talking about just points based off each win.
Off of each win.
Okay.
So yeah.
Then you go based off ranks and what place.
Pick one team member for each weight class or arm, or
that's how it is.
Yeah, if you do that, because if not, I mean, you have Oleg and Vrej who can pull every class.
Yeah.
If I doubt Vrej is pulling there, is he?
Maybe.
I don't think so. I think they only pull when it comes to big money, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, granted, Vrej can show up. Vrej can show up and pull 185, 205, 225, and 232, and he could, take home that money in both classes potentially. That's what, $800 or whatever that he could do.
Yeah. Boskin's gonna ref too, isn't he?
I don't know. Christian's reaching out to all the refs. So I have Christian reaching out to all the refs. I have Christian reaching out to Boskin to let him know, like, hey, this match needs to be at 165 with you and him.
I mean, I did, when I talked to him, I said, it doesn't matter to me. I just want a super match, to have a good, competition. So that's what my answer to him was.
Yeah, I know. We want to see you move up. We want to see you. Obviously, you're putting in that work, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And then I have Kane doing. Kane is taking on the role. I thought Kane did an amazing job on promoting King of the Mountain, Queen of the Mountain, on featured athletes. I really, really liked that. on how he really brought in people that not really many people knew about, and let people know like, hey, these elite pullers are coming, but these other people that other people don't really know about are coming as well. Whether it's their first tournament, um, whatever the case may be, I really, really like that, and I think a lot of other people like that as well. Uh, it really made him feel special, I believe. So great
Yeah.
job doing that, and I can't wait for to see some Chris Kringle Pull ones coming. So
Yeah, the Flyers are looking good. I mean, they're coming along. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
it's gonna be a good time. I'm glad because last year, we were out outside at the house with the Christmas lights and everything. And then sure, that was a good time with the snow and the kids and all that stuff. But I just feel like this venue is gonna be a lot more comfortable. People can go buy whatever food they want. They can sit there, relax, watch the movie. They can go watch another movie if they want to. Like, yeah, it's gonna be great. The only thing they don't have there is alcohol. So if you guys do want drinks, bring them for, have them at your car or whatever. They don't serve alcohol at this theater. Um, so yeah, bring an ice chest.
Do they
Um,
not want to see us in the theater with our own drinks?
They're not gonna want to see it, I'm sure.
I don't know. I haven't really talked to them about that.
Yeah, if they're an asshole. They
But
see it. They could just shut it down because that's risking their business.
that's liability. That's a liability issue.
Well, they're going to be running the public theaters and the other theaters, right?
Yeah,
During the event. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Maybe
So,
maybe if it's a private event, it's different.
Well, now they would have to. I'm sure they would still have to have a license. I'd imagine.
Oh
well,
yeah,
what's weird is they sell liquor in their other theaters, but this one they don't. I don't know why.
Probably have trouble getting a
Um,
liquor license in the city. Are they in the same city?
um, yeah. So the one that the theater that I tried to get initially was the one in Rancho, and then it ended up being that one out there. But
This one's a Lakewood?
Lakewood, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Oh.
It's a big theater. It's actually a very nice theater. It's just like an AMC theater. They're gonna have a 20-foot Christmas tree up and everything. Um, yeah, it's gonna be really nice. But the director guy that I talked to is a really cool dude. But yeah, I mean, great food options that they have there for sure. And then we're talking about an after party as well. Um, Me and Kane have talked about it. We were thinking about like out there initially, and then the hotel costs for everybody if we wanted to have an after party and everybody's toasted, obviously, right? It would be just too much cost, like after a long tournament. So I think we're gonna have an after party at my house, and I'll have like unlimited alcohol, beer, and then everybody can sleep over. Is kind of like what we talked about, and we'll wake up and cook like a massive breakfast. We'll arm wrestle and all that stuff. So everybody's obviously more than welcome. I'm buying a ton of air mattresses as we speak. Um, yeah, it'll just be a good
You live
time.
in Rancho, Travis?
I live in Rancho.
Where at? Where about? I live in Rancho also.
You know where Bolero is?
Oh, there. Yeah. Okay.
I live 2 streets above Bolero.
Okay. Yeah, you're on that. I'm on 6th of Milliken, so I'm almost on the area.
Yeah,
About.
yeah, you're right by the gym. Leroy's gym, that Sixth Sense or whatever. Right? You're
Yes.
like almost right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like Haven and Baseline.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like right there. So,
We've
yeah,
got our
man.
tents ready. My family has dibs on the roof.
Hey, you got the roof, man. If you want the roof, you got the roof. So, roof, backyard. If you guys want to, be in tents or you guys want to sleep in air mattress in a warm house, that's up to you. But we're gonna have a ton of beer and liquor, and we're gonna have a ton of food that night and morning. I'm gonna have more than enough food. It's gonna be just like the damn Friendsgiving. So,
Nice.
yeah, there's gonna be more than enough. The thing is, though, that next day is a Monday since the tournament is on a Sunday.
Mhm.
So,
I have Monday off.
there you go. Does your
Yeah.
wife ever come watch you pull, Mike?
If it's on a day that the restaurant's open, it's kind of hard for her to come. But
Got
it's
it.
like if I if maybe one of these next bigger ones, we're gonna try and get her there.
Yeah,
She'd
get
be
her.
bored anyways, like 90% of the time until I pull and she's just sitting there.
Well, where
It's
do you
but
live, Mike?
Victorville,
Okay,
but the restaurant's in San Bernardino.
got it. Yeah. So I mean, if she works on Sunday, she can just come straight to the after party and just stay here since you're off on Monday.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get her out. She's It's like pulling teeth, but we'll
Yeah,
try and get her.
it's gonna be a great time. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be a for that Sunday. It's gonna be a long day. I'm gonna ask for anybody and everybody's help that Sunday, so I'm not like not how Kane was like, oh yeah, here, there, like you know what I mean. Like we know how it is on these tournaments, and it's like the more help, the better. I already have Katie and somebody else doing like the raffles and kind of managing that area.
Yeah.
Um, and then obviously I'm getting somebody to come set up a stage and
Oh, there's not
I
like underneath the screen, there's not a stage there.
I don't
So
think
we're basically between the front row seat and the
Mhm.
movie
The
screen.
screen,
That's where we're
right?
working.
yes.
Okay.
And
So that's
I
what, about 20 feet?
yeah, about that probably
Okay.
in width. Yeah.
Which is
I
perfect. It's going to be stadium
Yeah.
seating already.
yeah.
Yeah.
People don't realize like how much vibe matters, I think, just at a venue. Like it makes it so much cooler. I don't know. Like I'll arm wrestle anywhere because it's I like to arm wrestle, but like would I rather arm wrestle at a movie theater than a like dry convention hall?
Yeah.
Like 100% for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
When your
I
back,
think
yeah, your back's not gonna hurt when you go sit down and watch,
Mm-hmm.
recline.
the thing is we're completely darkening the theater just like a regular theater.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna be sitting in there like you're watching the movie. The movie's gonna be on, but we're gonna have spotlights strictly just on the tables.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So I
Sweet.
do have to say this: the first 100 and I would say 20 people to get there are gonna have very, very prime seating because then you have like that flat little area that kind of goes to the next level of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
theater, and you're looking actually from a farther distance. So the first like 120 people to get there like have legit like front row seating to like this area until it like goes to that next level of seating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What time
Yeah.
does it start? 1?
It starts at noon is when the super matches are going to start.
And what's the date?
The 15th.
15th. Okay.
December, yeah.
I'll be there at like 11, so I get that front row seat.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like the first 120 seats is extremely crucial for people. Like people are gonna want to stand up. I'm like, hey, yo, don't be blocking people's views that got here at 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so,
Yeah.
and I'll have Travis say, sit down. Like
Yeah,
Travis is gonna,
that actually is so much better though. It's movie theater. You shouldn't have to stand. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's set up perfect for everybody to see over everybody.
oh, for sure. It's perfect. That's why people shouldn't be standing. They should just be sitting, eating popcorn, and enjoying the show. You know.
Yeah.
And best of all, I've never seen it done before, so I can't wait for it.
I've never seen it done before either. I
Yeah.
hope it's not a bust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
won't. It'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
J Square says that Kelvin is soon to be number one. So that is his prediction, and I'm not gonna argue with it, man. Like Kelvin is very determined, and I like his training style. Is there I don't know how often he does isolated workouts, but I do know if you could only do one workout, it would be a lot of pull-ups, and a lot of static style pull-ups, slow pull-ups. That guy is really good at that, really, really consistent at it. Let's see what else. J Squared also says it'd be easier to recruit arm wrestlers in a mental asylum than a gym. Most arm wrestlers are crazy. I
He's not wrong.
like it.
He's not wrong.
He isn't wrong.
You need to have a different mental edge to like it. It's pain needs to register differently in your head
Yeah,
as
yeah.
joy.
Babe, you work in that field. Where's our local asylums? The rehab. Oh, the rehab.
Oh, there's actually one right down the street from my restaurant. It's the
You could drive down to Patton.
yeah,
Yeah.
Patton. Yeah, Patton. That's what
Patton
that's
You
State Hospital.
guys, my team is gonna have the most drug addicts and alcoholics. You guys are rude. They're gonna be top 10 by Kringle Pull next month. Watch.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Kane's going to every AA meeting and tells
hey, but you know, if it's whatever takes that fills that void. If it's arm wrestling, good,
Yeah.
good
Oh
good
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, it'll probably yeah, best recovery they ever had, I think.
Yeah.
Um so also let me ask the boss about that Monday. Boss, can I have Monday off?
Let me check the calendar.
Let's see. The Drew says I just pulled Benji here in Vegas a few days ago. Ooh, what happened there? And the Drew says he's walking around at 185. Benjimac is actually in the house. So number one, Benji, what happened when you pulled the Drew? I've been wondering about that guy. I actually went to compete in
Get
Vegas.
Benji on here. Get
Close
Benji
there.
on here. Get that guy on here.
I don't know, man. This is what Benji says. He says driving back from Dallas Wades, trained with Jason Latona too.
Nice.
He's like
Yeah, I saw
hitting them
him with
games.
Dallas. I saw him with Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah, Dallas is strong. He's real
Yeah.
strong. Yeah, he's a cool dude too. Let's see. And then Matt Hughes.
I just learned about his story too. Great fucking story.
What's
Dallas,
that? Oh,
Dallas,
Dallas' story?
Dallas story's awesome.
Okay. What's up, people? Says Todd Colazzo's in the house. What's up, Todd? Looking forward to Elijah's super match at Kringle Pull. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. If y'all aren't following Alpha Empire's channel and Todd Colazzo's social medias, you got to watching Elijah, the videos he's making for Elijah, all of his training is so inspirational. It just kind of it's a swift kick in the ass that, we all need to keep putting in the work.
Yep. You got to keep moving on those tracks if you're on the right one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. Let's see. Matt Hughes says in regards to his match with Mika, it will be over quickly and not in my favor. Matt's so humble.
No, he's gonna come in. I know he's gonna
Mika's
come in
pretty
strong.
strong.
Yeah.
By the way, Ken, sorry I was out. I had a few meetings I had to go to. But I was listening to me the
Yeah.
whole time. But wanted to just fight for my West Side guys. Kelvin is a monster. He is so much lighter than me, but I have never felt like Kelvin was an easy practice match. He's a rock, and of course Mika is Mika. So I think both those guys are gonna keep dominating, and I'm very proud to be able to practice with them all the time and have them at my disposal. So they both helped me a lot, get much stronger. They've given me a lot of knowledge, and so they're great guys. So yeah, I also agree. Kelvin will be number one eventually. He's very young and hungry. He was number one briefly. He'll get it back soon. And Mika is just, we all know, Mika's an animal. So
He is. Yeah, I just
He is.
felt him like 2 Thursdays ago. That dude's so strong. So strong.
So,
Yeah, and I wish I could pick a favorite between Matt and Mika, in terms of
I don't know Matt. So again, I'm incredibly biased, and I'll admit that. But I love my guys, so I definitely vouch for them.
yeah, I've pulled with both of them. I don't think I've ever competed against Mika, but yeah, they're both just too strong. I'm just like I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And practice is way different than
Something's gonna
practice is
happen.
different than the real thing. It doesn't. I
And,
don't
and
care
it really is. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care who it is. It's
Mhm.
different.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. But they're both incredibly strong. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we got Derek Trung in the house. Says, what's up, guys? Good to see you in here. Let's see. Todd Colazzo says, no way San Diego beats Alpha Empire. So I don't know. Maybe we all just need to make side bets with each other in terms of which team is going to take home the most wins.
I mean, I don't think $100 is hard for a team to come up with. You know what I mean? Like,
oh no, we need to do better than that. Like for sure. I want to see a lot for this thing.
We're talking 250. What do we got? 4 teams, $1,000 payout, 250 each.
Yeah. That's very feasible, I think. Yeah. For our team, that's like putting in $1 each.
I'm not even pulling it. I'll throw it in.
So then you'd have 10 points per weight for team, right? Per team, because you'd have right and left.
You got to choose one
right and left each weight class, right?
One person for each division.
Yeah, so
6
right and left.
But if you're counting women,
right and left.
too.
Yeah, so it'd be 10 points, right?
Well, what are the weight classes for women?
Oh, there's women too. Oh shit.
Hey, we got that one.
right.
We got that one. We got Grace.
So are you doing the 54s and the 55 plus, the traditional 2 classes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it'd be what, 14?
We've got 8 classes. Yeah, it's gonna be 16.
Or 16. Yeah, 16.
Yeah.
Who's your guys' 145?
Oh, an Alpha Empire?
Manny. Is he technically Alpha, right?
We've got Ian, we've got Derek Trung, we've got Manny, we've got who else? Who else do we have? What am I missing?
That's a contender, or no?
We've got Kaleo. Kaleo's good.
So we got the win in the 145s. We got Christian. You guys got the 165s because you guys got Mike.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pulling the 185s too. Maybe the 232s too. We'll see.
Okay.
Depends on who shows up.
We do got a killer in the 232s.
Well, I know last year I could have won the 232s, probably the easiest. I know.
And it sucks because Dallas is technically on our team, but Dallas is gonna be actually in Utah.
Oh, dang it.
So that's
supers, we kind of have 3 different guys we could choose from. It just depends who we want to win it.
Right. We don't have enough. We have enough 185s, just not at the highest level. I think Ricky's maybe our best 185, unless you're at 185, Mike. But what I can say is we do have a lot of 185s coming up. I see a bright future for Daniel Villalobos and for Imad in that weight class.
Daniel actually just beat somebody at that tournament, and I was surprised. I'm trying to think of who it was.
Ricky?
Was it Ricky?
I think he beat Ricky.
Maybe it was Ricky, and that shot.
Or
it was somebody that was a
good that was good. He got over on, I forgot who it was.
It might have been Ricky. I'm not sure, but I was shocked. I was very shocked.
No,
I don't think he beat Lorenzo.
No, Lorenzo beat Daniel.
Yeah. He pressed Daniel. I know Daniel beat me, but I was just a 165 guy pulling up. And it was
I think it was Ricky.
See, that blows my mind. Like,
but Ricky had just a few banger matches before that too.
Okay, so Kane, typically, how do you usually pull against Daniel?
That was the first time we've actually competed against each other. Maybe we had a practice match before, but
because I remember seeing that, and it's crazy how stylistically, like, people against other people make it. Because I have way more trouble if I pull you, and I pull right through Daniel with ease.
Well, the big what
Your
leveling up
finger
for
coverage, your
Daniel.
finger coverage would take away his ace in the hole, is what I think happens, Devin. Your finger strength can just hold on to the back of his hand and he has nowhere to go, is what
Maybe.
happens.
Yeah, but Daniel just found his leverage. Like a lot of guys have the leverage and they're just figuring out how to use it. And he just figured out how to use it.
Yeah, if we do top roll, I do struggle with them, but if I just try to hook them, it's
Yeah.
That's how it is for me in practice too. And that's the one thing that I didn't do with him. I should have committed to a hook. Him. I don't think my head was in the game. But yeah, he uses his leverage too well in the top roll. I think I just forgot, don't top roll Danny or Daniel. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, dude, he's gonna be great. Um and I do think Imad's gonna be great too. I know he's working through some injuries and he's getting himself down to that sweet spot at 185. But who's on compound? Who's the 185 guys?
Christian's the 205.
Cabahug?
Yeah, right. 230 or 230, 205.
We have a guy. Yeah. Cause Cabajo's he's like 205.
Yeah, 205. Right.
We have a guy that's 185 amateur, but he's a killer. He's a killer. He doesn't compete though. So that's the problem is he never competes and he's always working. He's
Marshall?
no, we don't have Marshall.
Marshall's on
Marshall's not
on
even.
a team.
I don't even
Marshall's
got
on
Marshall's
Team
on the
Marshall.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had this guy. I forget his name, but I'll send you a picture of him, Kane, when I get some time. But he never competes. But the dude he's a brick wall. Like I can't move him from center. So yeah, he's pretty incredible. But if he does show up, which is very rare, then I don't think anybody's beating him.
Do we have any 205ers?
Was that, I'm sorry, was that guy at the beach practice? J Squared's deal?
No.
Okay, never mind. So you
Yeah.
asked 205?
Yeah, do we have any 205ers?
Well, I believe Lorenzo cuts to 205 for tournaments sometimes. We
Really?
really don't.
Lorenzo walks around that heavy?
Yeah, I think he's like a 220 guy, typically. Yeah. He's just got a lot of frame.
I would say I'm gonna try to see if he'll get out there no, he won't this Sunday. He was not gonna start arm wrestling until after December 16th. But do any of you know Adam Smith?
No.
He's been to one practice before. He's one of my good buddies. Derek's known him forever. His uncle is a guy named Richard Smith. I'm not sure if you know who that is. But he actually is one of the first guys that got Derek into arm wrestling.
Oh,
That's Adam's uncle. So Adam's actually a bodybuilder, but he's grown up. His dad and his uncle were both arm wrestlers. And the dudes
so are they kind of like who Derek based his, like he had like a short story or something that he wrote about arm wrestling?
I am not sure.
Okay. Yeah, he wrote a story about it, and I think it was like based off of those guys.
Yeah, so he's actually going to be competing at the LA Expo, and he's going to be at 205. So for the most part, I think he's going to be with Alpha, but he has national bodybuilding show December 16th, so he's not really involved right now. But he's just tired of bodybuilding. He's just burnt out with it. But in arm wrestling just been around in his family forever. So, he knows a lot of the basics, and like, dude is freaking strong.
Yeah, we need. What's his weight? You said
he'll be at 205.
He'll be at 205.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it would be easier instead of like going through each class to think of who we got. Like who's just the top? Who are the top people on Alpha Empire right now? And we can kind of see where they land in weight. Because all of those weight classes, I can think of people, but they're all kind of like competing in amateur. You know what I mean? I know we have 205 guys in amateur, 185. 232s. So Mike, Derek, Leroy, Ricky.
Are you saying top guy for each weight class?
No, I'm just saying top guys on the team, the ones that actually consistently pull pro and oftentimes get placings.
Is Mike considered alpha? Mega Mike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike and Mike. Yeah. It's mostly super heavyweights, I think, that are
and
at
165
and the 165 because Will, but he's not competing.
Yeah, Will.
Yeah, Minor does.
Yeah, Minor does good, but he's just breaking into the open class because that kid's a super heavyweight now. Did you know that?
Both.
I think the compound probably has the most stacked team right now, the way that I'm looking at it, because they got every weight class covered. We don't, unless it's me, I'm winning 3 weight classes.
And boxing's gonna tire you out, Mike.
Oh, I know.
So who knows?
Wait, who are we talking on compound that they have for each class?
Well,
So
Christian,
180. Okay.
Christian.
Okay, so
And
that's 145.
we got Scott Partington.
Scott Partington.
Oh yeah. And he's a 232 guy.
I'm
The
telling you,
180. I don't know about 185.
I sent you the 180. Kane, check your picture, see if you know that guy's name. I sent you on Instagram. I don't know his name, but there's no way he wouldn't win 185 amateurs. I'll tell you that right now.
Where's my
If
phone?
he came, he's not losing. I forget his name. Sorry. He's the guy with the beanie.
Okay. Yeah, I don't recognize him.
I don't know if you've ever seen him, but he's been on the compounds team for I think 2 or 3 years. But he literally he's competed in 2 tournaments and he won with no problems at all. And like I said, I wouldn't call myself weak. I can't move him from center. So
I wonder if I just don't recognize him in the beanie with the mustache. Does he normally have kind of longish hair?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, he's very strong. Yeah. Yeah, very, very strong.
But yeah, he's the 185.
Okay. Yeah, I think Ricky could beat him.
Ricky Ramos?
I think he could beat him.
Ricky.
That guy's only I think he's an amateur.
Yeah. He's very strong. He might outlift Ricky in certain lifts, like maybe the bicep curl. I actually did lifts with him. If it's the person I'm thinking of, last time I went to one of Christian's practices after we were all trashed, we started messing around with all of his weights and his arm wrestling handles and stuff like that. And yeah, that guy was strong. He's very strong.
Yeah, he's always at the practices. But he rarely goes to tournaments. And he was actually supposed to go to the LA Fit Expo, but he got really sick, I guess.
Let's see. So
but and then in the 165s, I think it would be between, if the Armenians don't come, it's between me and Elijah in the 165s.
Yeah. And on compound, yeah, Christian is also a very competitive 165.
Well, I was saying
amateurs.
I was saying for amateurs, yeah.
Oh, okay. Todd Colosso, what's that?
Why can't we? Because if our teams are, a lot of amateurs, why can't the amateurs count? If it's a team, team against team.
Yeah, because there will be an amateur competition too, and those can be tallied in as well, for sure. Yeah.
There's more money in the pot.
The last time there was a team competition was UAL and Compound won it. They do between them and the Armenians, they have in this smaller quantity, I think more competitors.
If we're doing it for money and amateurs count too,
They definitely.
I could probably clean house at 232. So maybe I will pull.
Hey, there we go. Okay,
I don't
now
know.
we're
I don't
making
know.
some money.
Hey, we do got a guy. We do got a super heavyweight guy that comes around every now and then. I don't know if he'd come to a tournament, but we got these guys that just randomly show up and they're like insanely strong and like you can't even arm wrestle them and like they just don't take it that serious and it's kind of
They don't see him
disappointing.
again. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, man, like this guy couldn't even move this guy, like crazy. Yeah,
Oh yeah, Cody often trains with. He's pretty much a compound guy, right?
yeah. So
I believe.
when we do competitions, Cody's on our team.
Okay. Yeah, you
So
guys got a pretty stacked team, um, in
What are
terms
you,
of
lecture?
actual tournament competitors, for sure. I think the Armenians would probably have you if they all showed up. But you probably have the top two competitive teams right now.
Who's that other young kid too? He's 165. Did he come from out of state? He wears a necklace. He's like a puka shell necklace. He's pretty good. He's only like 16.
Oh, he's he's one of the Mata brothers from Arizona.
Yeah,
That's Donnie Mata, I believe.
is he Johnny?
Donnie.
Donnie, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's that kid, like, yeah,
He's
yeah.
quick.
He's quick, but he's strong. He's got quite a bit of power. Um, yeah, he's very good. I think the first time I felt him was in the after polls in Vegas. Um, got a sneaky win on him in Mexico, but I think he's a lot better now. And I think he's heavier now too. I think he was like within the 176s in Mexico. I think he's like at least a 185 guy right now. I'm not sure. But his whole or like him and his brother, I think he might have two brothers, and they're all beasts, dude. They're all really good and really, really cool family as well.
yeah, I went to war with his brother in Vegas.
Oh, the younger one with the long hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
We're thinking of the singer, right? He wears like a puka shell necklace or something, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know Donald's brother's name. I forget what his brother's name was that beat me. But he beat me the first time. That was my first loss. And then I faced him in the finals. I had to beat him twice. And he just has a good hit. Like, is he
Mhm.
stronger than me? He's not. He just gets to his spot way before I do. Because when I beat him in the finals, I had to beat him twice. I only beat him once. When I beat him, I'm like, I had so much more in the tank, like in the hook than him. But like, if he gets to his spot, it's just hard to come. Like, my arm's outside my shoulder, so it's hard to come out, like get back in your hook from there. So yeah, it's just tough.
Yep.
But,
Yeah. Good to
yeah,
have a good move in a tournament, that's for
yeah,
sure.
he has a great move. He has to get a little bit stronger in the deep hook for sure. But I have to get quicker, so that's my fault.
Let's see, what else do we have? So Todd is asking how many super matches for Kringle. It's going to be 6. Um, yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. If you run it back, every single one of the super matches are really good. Mike Linder versus Vosgin. We've got Travis Provencher versus Benjimac. Third one is Mika versus Matt Hughes. I'll be going against Chad Shelby. We got Mike Brown versus Travis Jourdain. And the 6th super match that I'm missing would be your son, Elijah, versus Mateo, or something like that. He's got a rough one.
Is he around Elijah's age also?
I think he's young.
Yeah.
Might be Little, I'm not sure.
All right,
But they're
fellas,
1-1, right?
I gotta put the kiddo to bed.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Have a
Mhm.
good night, Travis. Thanks for coming on.
All right,
Yep.
guys. Talk to you later.
Have a nice night.
Later, guys.
Later.
And what else? Let's see. The Drew says it was some good sparring. I'm on Discord with Benji right now. I let him know that you guys want him to jump on. Let's see. Paul Stevens says, Todd Colazzo, I've beaten half the Alpha Empire team already. In terms of his San Diego versus Alpha Empire comment. Let's see. What's up, buddy? Everyone's saying hi. Alta Arms. Yeah, Daniel has a really good top roll. Javier's in the house. Javier Martinez, our teammate, is feeling really strong with the after pulls at Call of the Mountain King. He says, good evening. And Javier says, give me a compound amateur, who's a super heavyweight. Who do they have that's an amateur and super heavyweight? They don't have a lot of amateurs on the compound. At least not that I know of.
Who's that? Who's asking about it?
Javier Martinez.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, Javier, man, I think you're gonna be ready to step out of the amateurs very soon. You need to get in there soon and just go for it. You're getting really strong. Todd is asking Donnie if Donnie's 16 because he says he thinks he's 18. And Todd says Elijah's competitor's name is Matvi, who is 17 years old, so a little bit older than Elijah. And he works with the OC arm wrestling team. Okay, well, we are all caught up with the chat. And Jacob, how did things shake out for you in total at the event?
Yeah, good. So I'm finally officially home. So never I was driving around, so I'm locked in now. Good. So first off, before I forget, I'm not sure how serious you are about the team competition, but we are. West Side is somewhat competitive. So if I look through each weight class, we have Kelvin for 145. If Henry DeGro actually shows his butt up, he is phenomenal.
Oh, he's very good.
He,
Yeah.
He's very good. 185. This guy might be out of town now, but we had a guy named Leonid who's also ranked top 10 still.
I was thinking about Leonid. I wasn't sure if he trained with you guys or the Armenians. Yeah.
He's always been with us. I'm not sure where he went. I think he might be like out of state now. But anyways, if he's around, he's still playing with us. Two of us, obviously Mika, and then our captain Kevin Guile at 232. So like we have a guy who's like top 10 every class. So like if you guys actually are serious, I look forward to one day my team actually all showing up at the tournament because we're all great if we actually show up. So anyways, what's that? Repping.
Yeah. All those guys
but,
are killers. Yeah.
but as far as how it went for me, I was encouraged. I mean, like I said, the two matches left-handed was not a good start. But
right.
I felt good though. Like I felt don't know his last name, but Travis, I got him back on the right hand, which was nice. I definitely felt like, yeah, I'm like, man, I was pretty annoyed. Like, I knew I had this guy, and then I found out. But I got him back right-handed, which was nice. That had a redemption. With Paul Stevens, the first go, he definitely smacked me. I chuckled. Then he had us restart because I guess I elbow fouled. I'm like, sweet. And then the second one, I still fouled out, but I felt more solid. Even he was like, hey, you felt pretty good. I'm like, oh, great. Thank you. I'm encouraged. Then I finally got my first win against Chris Wacky. I just was like, I mean, not foul out. I've faced him before in a tournament, so I knew I probably wouldn't have too much trouble. So I just kind of stayed still and just waited to pull him in and top roll him. And then I think Ricky, man, if I would have played Ricky a little better, I need to pronate a little harder. I had him on the ace side. I just need to be a little quicker. And then the next round, he just hooked me, and it was over. I'm definitely a top roller. So Ricky got me. One of the pros got me to mean, Ole flash paid me, so that was fun. Like Ole's a whole another
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
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 And then it was fun going against Johnny. I'm good friends with Johnny. He's a good guy. He knows he needs to work on his setup. I've never felt more comfortable in a tournament than with him. He just like let me just like take his hand. And just like I felt like, oh, feels so nice. Thank you, Johnny. So he was being nice
Yeah.
to me. So that was part of my easiest win. And I got Travis back, which was nice. And then also got a win on Adam. Adam Vout, last name. He's a taller guy, older guy. But yeah, so it was again, Cam. It's incredibly encouraged. Thanks for having me on here. Thank you for making the tourney happen. Definitely a lot more high level pros showed up that I think you were anticipating and I was anticipating. But either way, it was a great time. I was excited to be able to pull. Now I'm kind of bummed. I want to pull that many classes every time, but I probably can't. It wouldn't be the most smart for me financially. So
Right.
yeah, but it
not.
was a great time, and I'm overall encouraged by my performance. So yeah, I definitely feel like no matter what, I would have started hopping in the pros anyways. But this is a great first
You make me some.
experience. I'm excited for Kringle, and definitely want to hit 205 if possible. If not, I'll just come in with the heavyweights again for the 232. But yeah, it went really well. So yeah, I'm pleased. So again, can't thank you enough for the opportunity to pull. And you were so kind to feature highlights of me as the poster as well with my son. I told myself I was gonna take another photo of me solo, but I haven't done it yet. So maybe for Chris Kringle, maybe I get a medal and I'll take a photo just myself, so I have something to actually send promoters. But no, I just can't. Thank you so much. It's been love arm
Yeah.
wrestling. I'm an ex college football player who has a knee injury, so arm wrestling is the it feels like a godsend. So yeah,
Cool,
just feel very
cool.
privileged to be in the sport.
Yeah, we'll talk because yeah, I'll do flyers for the Kringle too, and we'll get another one. But I like that one with your son too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he loves it.
More
He's all into
kids?
it. I have the one kid, and my wife is pregnant. I'll have the second, hopefully next month or two. She's due in January, so I'm hoping I'll be at the Chris Kringle. If I'm not, you guys know why. Because I had my new daughter.
You should just do a whole family photo with your pregnant wife and everything like that, and your kid for the flyer. Just kill them with kindness. Just look just so adorable. Like your competitors will be so intimidated. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to beat this guy, man.
yeah. And I'm bummed Travis left. I would have given props. His event sounds phenomenal. So I'm really excited. All the raffle stuff. It's
Yeah.
very cool. I'll miss the $10 price point, but it sounds it sounds great. So I'll be there, and I'll probably bring my family as well. So kudos to Travis for a great event. Looking forward. I couldn't go last year because I had some work thing, I think. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna make it happen. Sunday's a little difficult for me. I'm my job. I'm like the youth pastor, so I
Hmm.
will somehow magically disappear from church early, and I'll show up. I'll be there.
Amazing.
Give them a homework assignment the week before.
Sure, sure. I can do that.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna call it a night. I really appreciate you coming on and everybody in the chat as well. Paul Stevens says, Jacob, did we pull in super heavyweight? Yeah, you guys did pull.
Yes,
And
we did.
yeah, you guys have all been amazing. I really appreciate you coming on. And yeah, we'll do it again sometime. And I will see you all again soon. I will be seeing all four of you at Kringle Pull.
Have a nice night, guys.
Thanks, Dave.
See ya.
Bye.